It's too early. I can't believe it's time to get up already, but that's okay. A man's morning routine is everything. The first thing I do is I head to the washroom. My focus, brushing my teeth, my beard, and my skin. Tej Hanley, uncomplicated skincare for men, has changed my life. The face wash, the scrub, the super serum, the eye cream, the AM PM moisturizer has people giving me compliments left and right about my skin. At the beginning of each week, twice a week, I massage the scrub into my face and then I rinse. Every other day, I use the face wash. I put it into the palm of my hands and I spread it evenly across my entire face and my head. The Tej face wash keeps the pores clean and also removes all oil. My favorite part about Tej Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really make the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin easy. And because Tej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the description, and not only will you get Tej Hanley for the best possible price, but they also give you a free gift with your first box. Click that link and get started today for just $30. It's go time. What's going on, family? How y'all doing? Let me go ahead and introduce the crew. We got Miss Kelly, Ty, Hink, Biz, Ali, not Ali, but Ali, Miss Taken, Luis, me, myself, and Lapeef JR. What's going on, family? How y'all doing? Welcome. So how y'all doing, man? Y'all sounding dry, man. Y'all got to liven it up.
What's going on? Good evening.
I know dead possums on this show today, man. Y'all got to make sure y'all bring that energy. Biz, you might as well sit up, brother. It's gonna be a great show today.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. They say words is powerful, man. Hope y'all got y'all drink poured up. We ain't talking about tea. Talking about a little bit of whiskey. Any whiskey drinkers on the panel, no?
No drinking.
Okay. Ty's not drinking, okay.
Cheers.
Okay, I guess that is in that fancy cup, man. Kind of like them cups you get from the wedding. Like them souvenir cups that they may have, or either all the guests may have been drinking. You just took it home with you.
My cup, my glass.
Okay, that was a joke. I guess you kind of took it personal.
I got this from Don Juan.
Okay.
Just kidding.
I think everybody was looking around like, what? Okay.
No, I just never been to a wedding that gave those kind of gifts away.
That would have been nice, though.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. Anyhow, man, good to see you guys on this Wednesday. Trying something different. I guess I could probably start saying that because it's probably the third week that we've been doing it. So,
good shit.
Yeah, it's in full effect, man. It's in full effect. A Wednesday show. Short, simple, straight. It's a different vibe. I haven't been able to fill out the temperature yet, but I'm pretty sure you guys are going to even it out. And by the end of the show,
I may have a verdict as far as what this show is looking like. So it's not Thursday energy, Hink. It's not Sunday energy, but it may be something in between there. What you think?
I think we can rock with that. We can rock with that.
As long as you're on
Like
your
a
best
little
behavior. As long as you're on your best behavior, I think we'll be all good.
Yeah, no heifers today, just wenches.
Well, that's gonna be left to be determined.
All right. Like I do have a timer for mistaken too. Just in case mistaken. I do got the timer.
No, that's right.
So,
I swear, I'm trying to work on it.
So
we gotta keep you honest.
I go back and I listen. I'm like, dang, I could have said that.
Right, man. You know, people got short attention span. So sometimes when we speak and we say things, the same thing over and over and over and over again, you know, we can kind of condense it down. I may have to drop that down to maybe like 150. You know,
that's from me teaching the kids that I teach, because I have to be very repetitive. It's like kill and drill.
We don't have no kids on the panel today, mistaken. So we got 4 adults. And you already know their attention spans is real slim. So all right. I'm timing myself because as soon as I get done with this, that's when the show gonna start. Anyhow, shout out to the sponsor, T. Shanley Uncomplicated Skincare for Men, 40% off along with a free gift. And if you become a member, you get 20% off for life. So click that link that's in the description. We also have the Sure Man King on top. It's a Lapeef and Sugar Curls collab. So if you want your beard looking like Hink, because Hink did purchase, and he is looking. I don't have to say pause with this brother, man. It's a good looking beard though. Shout out to Sure Man, man. He's out here doing tricks, man. If you would have seen Hink's beard about a year ago, man, it was struggling. But thanks to Sure Man, Hink is on top. Pause. But click that link that's in the description, man, and fill it to you. So if it's not connecting, it's patchy, your woman complaining about it's not soft enough, pause. Is that a pause? We grown, man.
Yeah, we grown. It's when we on Wednesday, bro.
About anything being soft, so except the beard. A Sure Man King on top. Go ahead and click that link. Anyhow, we're gonna go ahead and get this show going. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. What's going on, Dorian, Christopher? As you guys come in, do me a favor, hit the like button. I don't need super chats, but just hit the like button, and that's all that I am asking and requesting. And also share the stream, man. Share the stream for somebody that want to get lucky on this Wednesday. And when I say lucky, I mean in a good way. Can y'all tell I've been working on my material? Yeah. I might go to open mic this Friday. I'll let y'all know the time and place. But don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath, because I might it might bring the Sandman out for me. I'm just saying. Y'all not laughing, so y'all gotta help me out a little bit. Y'all try as hell.
You're trying to be respectful.
You're supposed to have the sound thing, the sound effect.
Yeah.
Well, the sound effect's supposed to be the filler. I thought my joke was good enough, but you already calling for the sound effects. I see what you're on, mistaken. Don't let them glasses fool you. Taking shots early, y'all. Don't let them glasses fool you. I like your hair. I like that. And what's that? Like a cranberry brown? What's that?
I don't know what it is, but what had happened was when I had took my braids out, I had cut my hair too short. It was longer than what I thought. And so then they just had to cut it for me.
Well, you might have to get some tips from Kelly. You know, Kelly's a stylist, so she might better give you some pointers, some tips, man. You know,
It looks good.
Yeah, she knows a lot about natural hair.
It looks good, and it looks healthy, and it looks real.
Thank you.
I think men appreciate that.
Now, as soon as it's time to get it done again, I'll put my wig and braids back in.
Oh, I know. I mean, look, I know the vibe.
God damn. God damn.
It's a protective.
It costs too much, and I'm not good with trying to do my hair on my own when I wash it. Too much.
Okay.
I know all about that. It's easier to have a protective style, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! Here we go.
It is. It's so much easier to maintain, especially braids.
And it cuts so much time in half, like trying to get ready for work. that's one last step that I have to take so I'm able to sleep a little later.
Exactly. Like it's good for men to have products for their beard to make it look good. Yeah.
Nice.
Same concept. We just like the upkeep. We just like to look good and,
with
be presentable.
less effort, I have to
No, it's not the same, but I understand what you mean.
Well, Hank, I was thinking that we probably might have to get us some protective styles for our beard. So maybe we should probably braid it up before we go to sleep.
You should.
I guess.
Rock it.
I saw a beard bonnet
They
before.
do have beard bonnet. Get a beard bonnet? Is that what we need, a beard bonnet?
Yeah, that'll protect you.
Keep it nice.
Keep the moisture in.
Yeah. Soft, make sure it's silk. It's
good. So ladies, if you spent the night at a young man's house that you've been, interested in, you guys been talking, he's courting you, and y'all laying down, he's like, all right, have a good night, he kiss you, reach over to his to the side table and
pull out his beard bonnet.
What you gonna do in that moment?
I'm running.
I'm not gonna do that. I'll crack a joke or two, but
if his beard is fresh, I'll keep it like, all right, that's your routine. I see why your beard is looking fresh.
Wait, you're talking about like a man beard?
Yeah, his beard.
Oh no, absolutely not. We're not doing that. Nah. You gotta have a real beard, real hair growing out.
No, he has a real beard, but he puts the bonnet over the beard.
Yeah, the beard bonnet.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a little bit too sassy for me.
Damn.
That is not manly at all.
Damn. God damn. It's getting worse.
It'll make good, like a good skit or something, but in real life.
Do you not like when you wear do-rags?
I mean, but that's different.
How?
That's like on your face.
Hair though.
A do-rag is supposed to like protect your waves, give you that finished look.
And
a bonnet on the beard.
Their beard. Make sure it doesn't get pulled out. So while they're,
Have you ever dated a man that had a man beard? I mean, a beard bonnet.
No, but I'm just saying I wouldn't get it. And if I saw it and I had a guy that had a long beard or something, I would get him one. If he wanted one, why not? It's gonna protect it.
Okay.
Keep it moisture.
I see you, TY. Fight for your man.
I'm just saying.
I mean, especially if it's dry and I see he's losing beard hair and he needs some conditioner up in there, and then he kissed me and it's rough. I'm like, you know what? We're gonna soften that.
That's the point of the products, not the bonnet.
Yeah, the bonnet not gonna change that.
Can get everywhere else if it's not covered up. It's just like when we put products in our hair and then we lay on our pillow. Doesn't your pillow get greasy? Don't you leave stains on your pillow? That's why we wear bonnets.
Come through, TY.
I'm just saying, you put all the oil and stuff in. I don't want that oil all over my bed. Let's put your little beard bonnet on, baby. You're going to look a little silly. I'm going to crack a few jokes, but we're going to go to sleep.
We're going to have to get a vote. We're going to have to get a vote on this bonnet for beards.
What you say, Ali? You ain't said nothing yet.
Oh no, I'm with it. Like, I'm all about like a whole routine before you go to sleep. Admittedly, I wear a bonnet too because I color my hair a lot, so I have a lot of breakage. So I wear a bonnet when I sleep. It keeps my pillowcase clean. Skincare routine: moisturize the feet, put the socks on. I would expect my man to have some sort of skincare routine as well, and I would fully support it because we're supposed to wake up looking glowing. Looking moisturized and everything
with some teeth.
That's
So
I respect that.
I got a quick question. Since we're on the topic, I always find mixed feelings in feedback from a lot of different women about men's health, men's personal hygiene, men's personal care and stuff like that. I find that at one hand, I hear a lot of women say that it's sassy and it's all this and that. And on the other hand, there's a group of women who promote it and they champion behind it. I'm trying to get a temperature read in terms of like, where do a lot of people stand on this?
I would say is in the middle. You can't go overboard. Like you arching your eyebrows as a dude, like no. But you know how you might have like those flyaway eyebrows that might be real long. So keeping them cut down, you're not trying to shape them and do all of that kind of stuff with it. That's a little too much.
Or like manicure and pedicures. I don't see a problem with that.
Right. So with the manicure pedicures, what about clear polish?
My husband won't. He doesn't get any polish. I took him.
Come on.
A few about maybe 2 weeks ago because I wanted him to come with me somewhere.
What are we talking about?
And I told him to come with me, so he just came. Like I ain't doing any of that like stuff. I want, and he just got his toe because his toenails was looking busted. I'm like, no. So he went. And I treated him, and he ended up getting his feet done. And they were like, "Oh, you want polish?" He was like, "No, like so." He, as long as their nails are trimmed and shaped and neat looking, that's all you need.
You're not about to be clawing my ankles and nope in the bed. You better nope, absolutely not. Nope.
Miss Taken, do you live in Chicago?
No, I live in Atlanta.
Okay, there's a place in Chicago that's specifically for men. It's like a nail shop for me. Yeah, and it's like all women that come out, they get their feet and nails done. It's like a place where they can feel comfortable and they don't have to worry about being judged by women. And stuff
we can say it, the Asian people too,
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, I believe in maintenance, but the beard bonnet is pushing it too far, especially when you go to bed. Now, if you're doing that little routine in the morning, in the process of getting ready, okay, but putting it on in bed, like I don't think men like when women wear bonnets to bed.
They don't.
Oh, really?
Does that stop you from wearing your bonnet?
I never dated a chick who had a bonnet. She had a doobie though.
A what?
A doobie. To wrap that, you can tell that's what I did in mine. You wrap it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do with your hair, but
yeah. I don't trip. Me personally, I don't trip off the bonnet in the house. Outside the house, then no, we ain't doing that.
For guys, would y'all wear a beard bonnet if your girl's like, "Oh, I saw this in a hair store"?
Hell no.
Would you wear it?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. The whole beard bonnet thing is a new thing to me. I honestly didn't realize this thing even existed until I think it was like at the beginning of it was like spring, summer that this thing was like a thing. And I thought it was a joke at first until I looked it up and I was like, oh shit, this is a real thing. And I don't know. I have a pretty good beard routine in terms of like the products that I use. Obviously I have a Sure by Men here at the house. Shout out to JR. I need to re-up soon. And King on top. Pause. Definitely I have a face face routine, like in terms of like how many times a week I use a certain product to wash my face. Teach Henley, shout out to Teach Henley. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it's interesting because women, I find that women today, and it tells me a lot about where we're at, because when I have these conversations, it's more of I'm trying to drop a marble ball to see if it either bounces or breaks the glass, because too far often, a lot of women are too far concerned about their man looking a particular type of way, but not presenting a certain type of way. And what I mean by that is this: it's like, your man works construction and he's a masculine man, but then when you're out and about, why you don't make sure that you have the things that you need to be like, look, babe, let me take care of your nails. Let me do these things. I never really hear women move in that particular type of manner or step into that kind of frame in terms of making sure that their man's hands is in good care, right? Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, ladies, when the few drinks are in and the nights is out, where do you think those hands are creeping? This is why a lot of you. This is
That's
why a
what I
lot of
was
these women.
thinking. I couldn't.
This is why a lot of you
Mhm.
young women are wondering why your pH balance is off. It's because your man's hands are still dirty from the grease that he changed on Mr. Larry's old Oldsmobile. That's why. And you didn't
It,
care enough because you're too worried about him looking too sassy that you didn't even at least say, "Hey, I know you work construction. I know you work mechanic. Let me put you on to this. I think this would be great for you. You're gonna look amazing, etc., etc." It's very far and few to see or hear women carry that kind of spirit about them. You know what I'm saying?
Really? So the
It's
consensus
very
is that
far and
majority of women
few.
don't?
A lot of women, I swear to you, I'm telling you, I am out here. I've had conversations. I don't hear women speak like that or present in that kind of manner.
yeah, you ain't touching me with dirty hands.
No,
That's
I love
okay.
that's my love language. I love fussing over my man.
Oh, I thought you
Yep.
were about to say.
Why
She
not?
like, I love dirty hands.
No, I'm lightweight OCD.
That's
Like
right.
I got scrubbers by my sink to scrub your nails. Like, no,
That's right.
everything's gonna be extra clean, extra
Okay.
clean.
So man can't touch you with some dirty hands. He just changed your oil.
I
Oh, he said,
mean,
hell with
but
that. Okay.
I
Hey,
don't
if
think
your
the
wife
hands
wants
are
you a
the
beard bonnet, you wearing it?
I
No,
don't think the hands are the only
No.
thing we need to be concerned about.
What if the
no, not
beard
with
starts to like fall
not with
out
a
and get dry?
You
I
got
don't
a
have no problem.
perfect beard for a beard
Well,
bonnet.
well, that's what they got a
No,
short man for. So
no
you
beard
don't
bonnet.
have to worry about it getting dry.
Y'all need to add beard bonnets to assured men.
Nah, you have to worry
Step
about
it
it
up.
getting dry. This is all you need right here.
To lock that
Yeah, so
moisture
I mean,
in after you put it on. It locks
Well,
it in.
that's what the beard balm
the
is
thing
for.
about it, yeah, you don't wear that stuff at night. I wash that stuff out. When you take a shower, I wash my beard like y'all would do my hair. So I make sure I do it on the daily thing. I don't just.
Well, we do have the beard lotion for
Yeah,
that. That's for nighttime. So we do have the beard lotion. The beard balm and the beard oil is oily, but we use the beard wash, and when you get done, if you look right there, we got the beard, face, and body moisturizer lotion. So that'll still keep it soft at night.
That'd be weird to wash your
Yes,
face full of hair.
I
I
got the
can't
balm
handle
and the oil. That's the two things I got.
Okay, but when you come back, Hank, this I'm telling you, brother.
Yeah, I need to re-up the whole
Yeah.
package, man. I'm running low.
I would strongly suggest that. I mean,
it. Does it smell manly? Super
yes,
manly?
it
Like
has a
is
nice
it?
smell to
It
it.
does. It smells really good. I'm not gonna
Well,
lie.
I was gonna say the balm alone smells good.
I get a lot of compliments.
Yeah.
Beard balm smells good. I mean, it's got you rub something in your mustache and it's right there up under your nose, so you're getting all that good aroma.
Mhm.
So
If you wanted to get
I like it.
a tester, one of those, a JR, which one would you suggest? If you get one thing first to test it out, what would be, which product would it be?
Are you talking about with the Sure Man?
Sure, man. Yeah.
Okay. Like when you go to Bath and Body Works, when they got the pack, do you ask them that same question, or do you just go ahead and get it?
No, I go to the hair store and I actually look for something before I try to buy the whole thing just to see if he would like it or not. I don't buy a whole something and then he doesn't like it, and
What
then
do you mean, like just to smell just
Like a sample?
like a sample?
Yeah.
What I tell you,
I would get one.
Miss Becky. I tell you what, just go ahead and order whichever pack you want. If you don't like it, I'll give you a refund. But
So
we
each
also
one
have
of those,
two.
right?
Yeah,
Each
but-
one of those are individual, right? It's like an a la carte.
We have a 2-pack, which is
Oh.
beer bomb and roll, and that's another mix you can get. And then we got the 4-pack. I say get the 4-pack because you got everything in there. But Luis and Hink both have the 2-packs, so they can give you a live review right now. In the raw, like right here, right now, they can give you review now.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I
Luis
think-
is wrong.
Luis gonna
I
grab.
think we just. Yeah, I think we just did. I mean, like I said, I love the smell of it. I usually put the beard balm on first and then the oil later. And like I said, it lasts all day. You know what I'm saying? The smell usually lasts all day. I don't have no
It look
problem
like-
with it. I mean,
It smells so good.
it doesn't
No,
conflict. It doesn't conflict with like any colognes I use or body spray or anything like that. So, or my deodorant. So I like it. I like it. So.
Because he uses something, and I love the smell of it, but I would like for him to try it just to compare to see which one he likes better or which one has better results.
It's definitely working. It's definitely working.
Hank, I got this. I got the summertime. I have a lot of Middle Eastern oils. There's this one particular one that I like that actually pairs well with this. I put a little bit on my neck. When I put this on, absolutely amazing. It blends well. Notes everything. Trust me.
Yeah.
When you get close enough to have a conversation and you introduce yourself, they'll notice.
Yeah, and
you won't go wrong.
And to keep this in mind too is that it's skin friendly. So whatever residue you got left over, just rub it on. So you just smell it all good. Just imagine having that oil that Luis was talking about, and you got that Assure Man on. It's just like a combo, man. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's at this point, he's just irresistible to the world.
Yeah, I got Assured Man ball balm.
Well, it's skin friendly, so you can rub this on
It's skin friendly, yeah. You definitely
rub it everywhere.
Rub it anywhere.
Yep. And rub it in between them.
But then his bald hairs might be. It might be
All right, since we're talking about health, man, I'm gonna go ahead and roll this clip, man, and then we'll go ahead and get you guys' reactions about it.
Get tested yearly for STDs.
Ooh, shit, I told y'all gonna love this shit. Hey, listen here. Give me your name, age, and you get that yearly checkup, my boy?
I'm JC, I'm 40, and no, I don't go every year.
Okay.
All right, you kept it real, all right. You don't go every year. Give me your name, age, and do you get tested every year?
I'm Naptown's Prince. They call me Cho. I'm 45, and I go after every relationship.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Feel me? So it ain't every year.
Because you could be in a relationship like a couple of years,
you know. Relationship.
Give me your name, age, and do you get yearly checkups?
Rod, 43. Yes, I do.
All right.
That my chart looking like. Your name, age, and do you get yearly STD checkups?
35, big O. I don't go every year, but I go often.
Okay. All right.
All right. Not every year, but often. Give me your name, age, and you get them yearly STD checkups?
Yes, my name is Mike Ford with Mike Ford's Personal Training. I'm 46, and I go once a year. It's the way my insurance and everything is set up.
Okay.
So I'm really healthy anyway, always on the diet, stuff like that. I'm a trainer, so my body's a little bit different.
All right.
I figured that was a perfect time to cue that one in, man. Since we're talking about the health.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? God damn it, I'm a trainer, god damn it.
Ain't got nothing to do with STDs.
All right,
nothing to do with STDs.
Hey, man, he gonna push him his way out of STDs. That's what he gonna do.
What do you guys think about this conversation, man? The first guy just kind of threw me off because he said it's basically like he don't really get checked out. And typically, if we keeping it real, I often hear this question after the fact. The conversations I have with people, and they're usually sitting there and they're looking like, okay, so when the last time have you should have thought about that before you indulge? But nevertheless, let's go ahead and open this up for discussion. And what do you guys feel about what was just played?
I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, guys. You can tell me, but I've heard guys say that men, I'm gonna say black men, because I don't know how, that's who I interact with, basically waits for the girl to get checked up, and that's how they determine whether or not they so if the girl come back with something, then they know they have something, but if they don't, then they feel that they're good. Is that true?
No.
I hate this for us. I really do. I really do. I really hate this for us because the responses that those gentlemen gave, it is what you do not do. It should be the blueprint of what you do not do. First and foremost, if you're going to engage in any sexual activity with any young woman or woman that, for that matter, right, or anybody of the opposite sex, free. I'm a equal opportunist, right? So whatever free floats your boat, but have the conversation at some point. I know it's not the most sexiest conversation. It doesn't roll off the tongue as easy or as simple, but you know what? Having that conversation, like, hey, look, I do all my tests when I go and do my yearly checkup or every 6 months or whatever the case may be, right? And here's my chart, right? These are my history, the last 5 years, the last 8 years, right? Consistent checkup, and here are all the results for all the different various of tests, etc. And please, let's not only limit it these to only just sexually transmitted diseases, also hepatitis B and hepatitis C. We have to be very cautious that there are a lot of people who are entering the country who are unfortunately have not perhaps had their shots or have not been checked out, right? So we also have to operate in a space where giving people too much grace might end up being your shortcoming, right? Have the conversation, go together, or they go without you, whatever the case may be, but definitely have the case. And as far as those gentlemen, being very lackadaisical, nah, man, have your paperwork in order. Be proud and stand on business that you're a healthy man who prioritizes his health, right? Who goes to the doctor, and not only just for sexually transmitted diseases too. Also, go to get your blood work. What's your blood work like? What's your cholesterol, your blood pressure, and all these other things? Are you eating healthy enough? Gentlemen, put down the cognac. Put down that cognac, man. Pick up the lemon and water. Drink more coconut water. Go out walking more often. Bike, whatever the case may be. But as you get older, you have to prioritize, your health, and you got to change the way you view things. So that's just all I want to say.
Do you think it gets better as men get older that they use their healthcare benefits?
Unfortunately, it gets worse because what happens is
Oh.
that, like, when you're a young man, and this is what I've seen, and I can honestly attest to this too, because when you're a young man, you're healthy, and you're not even concerned. Like, man, I'm good. Like, I eat well. I'm always active. Whatever, whatever. But it's not only so much of that. It's just that as you get older, you have to also be cognizant that you don't know if you have prior family hereditaries that you need to be conscious of, right? Things that you might be okay with eating in the past, you might not be okay with eating now. There's things that might develop that weren't there that are now there, right? It's better to get ahead of it. Unfortunately, there are too many men dying from things that they could have prevented. That is the casing point, and sort of that in itself needs to be more of a conversation and more of a movement, because we all have brothers, nephews, loved ones, etc., who are in these kinds of spaces or phases of their life that they need to be more self-aware. And as they get older, if they don't really have that person in their corner to like remind them or set their appointments, etc., they forget about it, because unfortunately life be lifing. And there's a lot of events that ends up happening, and it's like, oh, I scheduled it, but I forgot. I went on this trip. I scheduled the same week. I'll do it later, but then they can't get scheduled in for another 4 months, and they just keep kicking that can further and further down the road. So being more aware and being more accountable of one's health has to be a priority.
Do you think that men who have women in their lives go to the doctor more often and are more proactive about it because they have women in their lives?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, because my mom.
Do they do it like begrudgingly, or like, do they drag?
It's more of like that elbow, like, you better go to that appointment on Tuesday, right? So my mom, shout out to my mom, man. She was very big on making sure, like, she'll go with my dad to her appointments and stuff like that. And she'll also like ask further up questions, because unfortunately that's another thing too. They'd be like, oh, I'm good. Okay, we're ready. We treat that thing like an oil change, like filter, power washer, power steering, oil. Okay, we're good. But you don't ask about any, are these tires good? You know what I'm saying? Should I get new windshield
Is
wipers?
this symptom
There's all
connected to
these,
this?
you know what I'm saying? There's all these other things, and there's also things that they have on their mind or concerns or issues, right? But they don't bring it up because they're embarrassed. So I honestly think, and hopefully we probably get into more of a space where if there are men who haven't gotten over that hurdle and are not paired with someone, right, that they have an advocate when they go to the doctors, where they could have these conversations pre-screen ahead of time, right? So like that, they can have the uncomfortable conversations with their physician or medical professional where these things could get brought up. And because if we have that, right, we could catch a lot of things early. We could prevent a lot of people from, from suffering or going through any of these life-changing illnesses, right? And we could have a much more thriving, community of men.
I was gonna say, like with my dad, he's 76 now, but I see the quality of his health had declined a lot after he divorced his second wife. Because at the very least, he was going to at least yearly exams, sometimes more if she saw something, be like, you need to go to the doctor for that, and she'll just set the appointment and be like, oh, you have an appointment at such and such a time. But after he's divorced, he just don't really go unless like is a situation where he has to, like there's in no denying, like I need to go because my pinky falling off or something like that. Like it has to be to the extreme before he actually goes. And I remember I went with him to the doctor one time because his car was broke down. So he was forced to ask somebody to take him. And I spoke to the doctor, and the doctor was like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while, where he was telling us that he had been going. So found out that he wasn't really going. And then like with my husband, I go with him and he allows me to come in a room with him. And he is like a love-hate kind of situation, because he's like what Lewis said, where they won't ask questions, won't ask follow-up questions, just listen to what the doctor says and say, oh, okay, doctor say you need to, okay, and that's it. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, asking questions, and then the doctor might ask him something, he'd be like, nah, and I'm like, nope, that's not true. And I'm running down everything. And he's looking and he's just like telling everything. I was like, that's what you're supposed to do, because he's not going to know. Some of this stuff goes in a chart depending on what medication you're taking. You don't know what kind of side effects it's having, So he appreciates it, but he's just like, man, you just be telling everything.
Yeah. I think the same thing with my father. He actually passed at 49 because he hated going to the doctor, and he started having what do you call them? Not a heart attack, but
a stroke.
A stroke. He kept having many strokes, and he was just putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and didn't want to go. Took my younger siblings to school, came back, and he finally had to go. He waited till his wife got home, and she made him go to the hospital, and that's actually how he ended up passing, because up having another stroke, and he waited so long. But I know in my family, a lot of the men hate going to the doctors. They don't want to hear what the doctor has to say. They don't want to hear anything bad. And like Louise was saying, I think it comes from a place of fear with Black men. But we as the women, in the family are always trying to push them and say, well, we can keep these things from happening or getting worse if you actually went more often and we figured out what was going on. We literally just had to do the same thing that Miss Taken was talking about with her husband or father with my grandfather. He went into a diabetic shock, and we had to rush him to the hospital and sit there and tell them all the things that was wrong with him. And he was so upset that he had to stay there. But it's like, they're helping you. You need to be here. And had you already been coming, maybe you wouldn't have to be here in the first place.
Do men find it like emasculating to have health transparency among your household and with your physician? Is that really what the core of the problem is?
out.
Like what is it? I don't know.
I think there's a bit of that. I think there is also the illusion or the iconography of idea that you're supposed to be this rock that is impenetrable, right? Like for you to have issues early on, right? It's almost like a sign of weakness, or even like a sign of like you failed to kind of take care of yourself. So if you can't take care of yourself, how can you take care of your family, right? So there's like this entire cascade effect that happens. um I I'm kind of concerned even nowadays, and I know we're gonna hammer this part, but even younger men today are having issues. I'm talking about men in their 20s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which I find baffling, because in my 20s I was doing backflips. Yeah, I was just whatever. But today it's just become, poorly, and it's obviously a huge contributor. We're smoking a lot more now these days. We're drinking a lot more these days. We're partying more and resting less these days. We're too much in front of screens and not enough time in front of nature or being outside, right? COVID did a number on us in terms of our psyche, right? And I think that still perpetuates to this day. And that all plays a huge part. Not even the nutritional aspect too. Like, where do you guys shop? What do you buy? What's in your grocery store and what is in your fridge? That's a huge component that we don't talk about. It does get talked about, but just not enough. I've always said, like, the foundation of a culture has to be championed around the things that pushes everybody forward. And that has to be health. That has to be spirituality. That has to be family. That has to be a bunch of these other components that produce a much more healthy and thriving family and community.
So do you think the solution is fathers talking more to their sons about health transparency? Like how do we fix it?
I think they should be taking their sons with them to doctor's appointments, and already from the beginning breaking that fear of the relationship between the doctor and the child. I mean, because I know in a lot of situations it's the woman that takes the child to the doctors, right? Like, it's not even always that the man is there. And I'm not saying this is the case for everyone, but I know for my daughter, I make all of her doctor's appointments. Even when her father and I were together, he didn't always come to the doctor's appointments, especially once she started getting older. So I think, especially with young men, if they start doing it, it's almost like you're setting the precedent already that you're not afraid to go. It's okay. This should be normal. So it'll just, train their minds to start thinking, well, this is what we do. I need to go to the doctor. I need to get a checkup. I need to live a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah, I think we live in a day and age where people are prioritizing their sexual desires over their health, right? And I say that because it just seems like sex is so easy to come by now. But then you have this group of men who are saying, well, one said he was a personal trainer and he's healthy, which has nothing to do with his sexual health. So it's like, what type of women are participating in that act with them? So women also need to take care of themselves just like the men do. So like when you know that you're gonna, you have sexual attraction to the person, I think it's better to just be upfront and say, I think we both need to get tested, just early on. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but it's just the reality of it. Everybody's giving sex away now. So it's not like it was back in the day where, you really had to wait. So you have people having multiple sex partners throughout the week now. It's just not, it's necessary. I don't even know if once a year, that's like the bare minimum. One guy said he gets tested after every relationship. Well, what if he has 12 relationships in a year? Like that's insane. So people definitely need to prioritize their sexual health. Like, it's just necessary now. I mean, it's always been necessary, but it's so many things happening, like that outbreak of HIV in Texas recently. Did you all hear about that?
And Houston.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I'm
that's
canceling
crazy.
all my flights to Houston.
Well, you planned on having sex when you were there?
No, I was planning on going down to the museum, but
Oh, well, you'll be good.
but them heifers would jump you at the airport.
Yeah, I mean, do you all find asking people to get tested uncomfortable?
I don't. I've never felt that. I never felt uncomfortable asking. Just because realistically, if it's consistent, then it might be one of them times where you slip up and you forget you dig, or you in it and you just so happen to pop it off one time or something. Stuff like that happens. So just to play it safe, hey, look, let's be transparent. I'm digging you. I ain't messing around with nobody else. Let's make sure that we both good, so we know we got a clean slate walking into it. And just being transparent with it. I think that adds more safety and for each person to be comfortable in the relationship, much rather than things kind of feeling like it's being hidden or ignored or not talked about. That's when the problems happen.
Do you think married couples should get tested?
So that's a great question. So me personally, I've been tattooing for about 15 years now. So just off GP of me doing that, I go get tested yearly. Now I haven't been tattooing as of lately, and now that I do have a fiance, I think I haven't went to get tested in maybe like 2 years now. And is that a good thing? I don't know. Is it a bad thing? I don't know. I feel comfortable in the sense of trusting her and also trusting myself. So I don't know. I think that is good just to be aware. But I'm kind of on the fence with it, I guess.
What say you, Hank?
I mean, look, I agree with what my man was saying. Talking about if I was a single man, I was out there, I would get tested out after every partner that I would be with. I don't have no issue with that. And if he decides he has 12 partners within a year, then he need to go get tested 12 times. I mean, if that's what it comes to, that's what it comes to. As far as me, most men, I think most men has a problem with going to the doctor. Mainly, it's a little bit about embarrassment and finding out certain things you don't want to find out because you don't want to know that your situation is all bad. But a lot of times it's the time you using spent in there. Because you got to think, when you schedule an appointment, say your appointment's at 4 o'clock, you may not get back there at 4:40, damn near 5 o'clock before you get back there. Now you still got to wait another 10 or 15 minutes before your doctor comes see you because he's got about 4 or 5 other people there. So now men feel like, damn, I feel like it's a waste of time. Only thing he's going to tell me is the same thing I already know. So now I came, made a copay, paid $30, $40, $50 for a copay. I wasted an hour and a half just for him to tell me everything's fine. Your blood works good. Your vitals are good. Everything's good. My God damn, man. I just wasted an hour and a half of my day. Here I'm good. You wasted
I
money.
feel like you already paid for it out of your insurance. Part of it, might as well use it.
Yeah, but now you pay. But if you have a deductible, you paying something on top of that. You're not just paying just whatever you pay weekly out of your insurance. You're paying a copay. And now your time is valuable. I wasted an hour and a half to sit in that office before I seen the doctor. Like, damn, what the hell? I wasted my time. I just sit here, him or her, just to tell me everything's fine. Yeah, I feel like it's a waste. Yeah, so I mean, I kind of understand why some men are feeling that way about certain things. But I'm a man who believes in. I tell people, the guys all the time, I say, man, get your mental check. Whether you get on somebody's couch or somebody's Zoom meeting, get your mental right. Go get your blood work. I encourage it, man. At a certain age, go get the prostate and colonoscopy. You got to do these things. It's a must, especially when you know your history of your family. If you have family members that had colonoscopies and colon cancer or dealt with that shit before, hey, you got to make sure you get your checkups every 5 to 10 years. I mean, every 5 years is what they recommend for African Americans, and then at the age of 40. So we can't wait to, white folks, they may go 50 or 55. We can't wait that long because we're more prone to get it as far as African Americans. So we got to go to be between 40 and 45. So I encourage men to do it all the time. Fortunately for me, I have to take a physical every year because I got my CDL. So it requires me to go get a full physical. I got to make sure my blood pressure is in order, my cholesterol and everything, my vision, all of that's important. See, some people just say, well, you just go and get your blood pressure check and all that. Well, no, you got to make sure your visuals are in order. Because you out there on the road, you can be reckless and mess around and have an accident because your eyesight's not good. It's not up to par because your other parts of your health is not up to snuff. So I got to make sure I do that. Not only that, I work in a wastewater treatment plant. So I got to make sure I get a hepatitis test because we dealing with all that dirty shit y'all put down in your goddamn toilet. So we deal with that shit. So I do that every year. Get hearing check, your visual got to be checked, and like I said, from a CDL, I got to make sure my blood pressure's in a stable place, my cholesterol's in a stable place. So I go get checked every year, regardless. A full physical every year, regardless. But as far as men, for the most part, we don't do it on a regular basis. No, we should. We need to do it more, and I think men need to be out there preaching and teaching it. We need to be out there talking about it, and don't be ashamed and scared to have that conversation, regardless if it's your father, your brother, or even your sons. So,
yeah.
You didn't answer my question.
Mistake asked a question about married men getting tested.
Married couple, should they get tested?
No. Now, if you know you out there and your ass is just out there hoeing, yeah, you probably want to. Yeah, if you hide in the pants, you might want to go, get checked every year. But if you on the up and up,
I can't believe it, Jesus.
Well, I'm not married, but I know married people, and it's people still out here in the streets, regardless of being married, like you said. So I think it is important. So
that was what the toss-up was. What I was thinking was because I've heard, on both occasions where women have caught something from their husbands because they were out there. You hear a lot of stories in Atlanta with the husband being on a down low, stuff like that. And then vice versa. I've heard where men have caught something from their wives, and
Is it me or did she freeze?
So that's what made me
No, she's still talking.
Question.
No,
So,
I think Louise was explaining.
Yeah, Louise just froze.
Froze. Oh, so I was gonna say it was a toss up. I think in my younger years, I think I let the talk about you don't know what your man doing, like you don't know what your husband doing, that kind of stuff kind of get in my head. And so when I would just do my yearly gynecology, go to gynecologist, I would just get everything done at that time. And like, they'll ask and I'd be like, yeah, and do that. But like nowadays, I'm like, I don't. So I don't know. In my mind, I'm like, should I or should I not? Because I know when I was doing it, it really wasn't because I felt like I needed to. It was more listening to like, you don't really know, that kind of stuff. But if I say I'm going to trust you, I'm going to trust you. So
that's true. I think it's just about protecting yourself. Just in general. I mean, and yes, you may have all the trust in your husband and he may have all the trust in you, but I think it's still necessary to just take care of yourself regardless to if you're married or single. Just for your sexual health, just and your overall health, everything. I think it all matters.
But then you saying you don't really trust your person, then. That's what you pretty much saying. Well, why? How you think? How am I saying I trust you, but I'm going out here getting checked anyway? Why? Because my girlfriend said that you say you never know. Now you allow somebody to get in your ear, mess with your mental, and you going out here getting checked because you really don't trust it. No, that's what you really saying in so many words without saying it without saying it.
Yeah.
Well, when you go to the gynecologist, they ask you, do you want to be tested for everything or you just want to be tested for, they have different things that you could be tested for. And you could choose to pass it up or not. But I'm not a married person, so I can't really voice my opinion like she can, but I do think it's still important because you just want to put your health first. Period.
I mean, if you're a single person and you just out here dating or just having fun, okay, I understand. But as a married man or woman, nah, because unless you, like you said, unless you know your man he ain't shit and he just out here fucking anything that comes across his goddamn path.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You never know.
Don't know if he's not. I understand what Hink is saying, though. You would hope to trust your person enough to the point where you put that type of trust in them and they won't do anything that can harm you or them. But the reality of it is we've seen many cases where people trusted their partner for a very long time and then they find out, no, they've been cheating on me for this amount of time, no matter how much I trusted them. So I get both sides.
Or that you find out that kid that you thought was yours wasn't really yours.
God damn.
Yeah.
Now,
Or
that's
you
what we
find
got to
out
worry
your
about.
husband got somebody
That's
pregnant. What was
what we
that
got to worry
movie?
about, right? You talking about a killer.
Would you be offended if y'all? Well, Hink, you're married now. There's all y'all are talking about. You're about to get married. Would you be offended if your wife would still get like checked? Would you think that she didn't trust you, or it would have you thinking she's still out in them streets while she getting tested?
To be honest, I would encourage everybody to get tested regardless. I mean, if you're not concerned about anything, then I don't see no reason why you shouldn't be able to do it. I've had different doctors, and different doctors give you different types of health advice depending on their experience and the patients they've seen. And I had this one male doctor that encouraged, every married couple to get it for the simple fact of one time a man did get burned by his wife, found out his wife was cheating. And so he also recommends that married couples even wear condoms because you can just never be too sure and too careful.
God damn.
Yeah, I don't. If I got to use a rubber and we married, then we have no business being married. But I do agree with again. I do get it. I think that it is important to be aware of your health. Would I feel some type of way if I found out my old lady was getting tested while we're married or whatever? I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, honestly. It'll be, as long as you're not like, oh yeah, I went to go get tested today or whatever you telling me, then it's like, okay, what the fuck you telling me for? If you're gonna do it, just do it, But I think that even in that case, if she is cheating, at least I know, what I'm saying, that the motherfucker burning and we can take care of whatever it is we gotta take care of from now. But I think it's that's
you're gonna find out regardless if she burning.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying.
I can't believe it,
it may not hit me instantly, but it'll come up in the test, and it's like, oh, okay, now we gotta go from here type of deal. But at least at the minimum. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think that it can become a slippery slope because if the subcontext to the other spouse is that you don't really trust me, then that is going to bleed off into other areas of the relationship eventually. So I think that it is imperative to just have that conversation beforehand, and be like, hey, I would love to continue to do this. It's not that I don't trust you. I'm just concerned about my health. Or, hey, I feel comfortable with where we are, and I probably no longer will make that a big priority for me.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and transition, man, to the next topic, man. AP, accountability partner, $10 says, look here, Luis, you're being blasphemous. You can't have my cognac. My wife 100% sets all my checkups and updates my calendar. I'm good. Fellas, get you a wife. Life is dope. Eating healthier. Feel good. Shout out to you, AP, and thank you for your contribution. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and share the stream. We appreciate everybody in the chat. Great engagement thus far. So you guys are being respectful. Shout out to TG, Edward, Lexicon, AP. Again, boom, boom. Torrance, Jalen, Christopher Porter, TG. Shout out to everybody, man. Our next topic, I'm going to play this clip and let's go ahead and react to it.
Listen to this because they're really trying to tussle with me in the comments over on TikTok because I said I don't believe, especially as we get older, that men and women can have close friendships and just be friends. And when I say friends, I mean you hang out, you text, you call. I thought that everyone knew that we outgrew that. Like, that's elementary school stuff. And when you see it happen, what is going on is 9 times out of 10, one of those people has just been friend zoned, whether it was verbal or not. Because here's my thing. Are you single? Is he single? Call him up. Ask him out on a date. How much you want to bet he won't say no? All I said was, really what's going on is someone's being friend zoned and just waiting for their turn. But hey, everybody in the comments like, I've had a boy best friend ever since I was in the 3rd grade and I'm 50 now. Okay, Sue.
All right, I'm going to go to you, Ty. You got this elementary school friend that you've been knowing for many years. And you in your new relationship, man. You guys are 6 months in, strong, decided to go exclusive. The rules kind of change up a little bit. You know, your homeboy from elementary school is calling you up. What you gonna do? You know, he's not too fond of it, a little weary because he's watching these panels and hearing these conversations about there's no such thing as women being able to have male friends and vice versa. Ain't no such thing as new friends or old friends. Why is she calling your phone? But in your situation, you've been knowing him for years. Nothing's never happened. He doesn't like it. What you doing?
I mean, I feel like from the beginning, I would have to set the precedent and introduce both of them. If that's really my friend, then he should be hanging around just like my girlfriends do. So my partner should already be comfortable with that person. Me personally, I really don't have a male friend that I've been friends with for forever in real life who didn't end up liking me. That's just my situation. But I know people who have those situations. So if I was in that boat, they would have to already have a relationship built. I don't think I would stop being friends with that person if we are genuinely friends and that's how they feel as well. I would just make sure that my significant other also is building a relationship with them, just like I would with my girlfriends and my significant other. I would make sure that he's comfortable and understand that that's just the relationship. We're just friends. But he would already know that ahead of time. It wouldn't be like, who is this random guy calling your phone? This is the first time ever. No, you know, I've been hanging out with Jim since you met me. I talk about him all the time, you know? So that was just how I would deal with it. But in real life, I've never had a male friend who didn't end up saying that they liked me. So I understand where she's coming from.
Okay. Go to you, Viz. Sir. I know you getting a little bit cozy and leading on that same path as Hink. Did you cut them all loose, man? Cut them all loose. Did you? I can't hear you, man. You're on mute.
I think that it is possible to have a friend of the opposite sex. Will they be attracted to you? Potentially. If you're a good looking woman, a good looking man, you got your head on your shoulders, whatever. I mean, I feel that that's instinctive, that's natural. There'll be some type of attraction, especially if you guys have invested decades of time together, just growing up or whatever, staying in contact. That of course is building a rapport. So yeah, there may be some type of attraction there. But at the same time, I think that if it's a genuine friendship, then you know that line isn't to be crossed. Me personally, I do have a very good friend of mine that I've been friends with, a female friend that I've been friends with for 20 years. And she's married. She's been married for some time. And our relationship, even with me meeting her husband before they were married, it whatever happened that they were doing, that they had going on within their relationship, made it so where essentially he doesn't trust me, but it's more so because he doesn't trust her, technically. So that has put that has dampened our relationship between me and her, and even the relationship that I built with him, because I've even gotten closer to their children. Their children know me, the entire family knows me because I've been around since day one. So because of whatever they have going on there, that of course affected it. But aside from that, I mean, it's always been love. It's always been transparency. And I think as long as both parties is fully aware of that boundary, and there's no desire to cross it, I think that is possible.
Let's see who I want to go to next. Go ahead, Allie. What are your thoughts about this?
I think I'm similar to Ty. Like, I personally, can you hear me?
Yeah, what kind of jersey is that?
Oh, the Ravens, Lamar.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I personally just, I grew up in a small town, so there's no way that I was ever gonna bring out a male best friend from where I came from at all. Absolutely not. Like, do I have male friends thereafter that I've made? Sure, but I don't know. For me personally, my man has always been my best friend, and that's the place he would always stay. But it's like, have I built friendships in between there? Absolutely. But similar to Ty's answer, I would try to bridge that gap. Like, it's really common. I was just having this conversation, especially amongst colleagues. You become cool and you become friends, and you're in the area. Like, especially like I live near a business area. If you have a conference going on and you're going to have drinks afterwards, if I had a man, then he would come with me to meet that person to have drinks. Like, he wouldn't be excluded. The worlds would, come close together in that way. And that's kind of just the way that I've always handled it. Like, with all my guy friends, is that if they're going to be my friend, they're going to know my man. And it's always worked out.
So if that person never attempted to come at you, would you let your guy know? Or would you just shut it down? Also, you would tell him?
But yeah, I would tell him, but it's like, how do I lightly say? Like, some of the guy friends, I'm from Iowa, you guys. A lot of the white friends, they're white friends, right? Like, it's just not these, like, they just know how I vibe. They know the type of men I date. It's not a threat. It's just not, like, I have a quirky graphic design friend back in Iowa that I talk to every now and then. Sometimes we get on TikTok lives and we talk about design things and stuff like that. That dude is not a threat to any man that I date in my life ever going forward, but we're cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I have a very diverse group of friends. So it's just, no.
Okay, Alan.
Yeah.
I can dig that.
Yeah.
Mr. Luis, sir, I'm coming to you. How do you feel about what's going on, man? I know you're very opinionated.
Look, this is like one of those old age conversations about the dynamic friendships between men and women. I feel at times when we have these conversations, I'm gonna speak to both sides. I feel on the women's side, at times I hear they're not being as honest because the men that they have in their corner, who they claim to be a friend, are men who have shot their shot, who have shown interest, who orbited around and just stick around and always do these things for you out of the blue and for no reason, and because you're not sexually attracted to them, that doesn't mean that they're not sexually attracted to you or interested in you, right? And because some people play possum and some people act oblivious because they enjoy the attention, they enjoy the energy that that person brings and gives, they're also missing the mark that they're also sending cues that they're also interested in them. And sort of once you get into a relationship, you keep having this person, hovering around that you haven't really had the conversation of like, hey, I think you're cool. I really enjoy our conversations. I respect you, but I don't see you any more than this friendship that we have that I respect, or etc. That conversation is not had enough. You know what I'm saying? Among, on the women's side, to certain men who have shown that kind of interest. Remember, some dudes will wait around for years and years and years, man. They'll just be that guy that's waiting for that apple to fall out of the tree and stick out his hand to grab it before it hits the ground. That is a lot of dudes who do that. You know what I'm saying? I tell dudes that don't ever stick around, man. They're not showing interest, move around. You have to develop an abundance mindset, unfortunately. And, when we talk about friendship, people tend to kind of blur the line. And I had this conversation earlier today on Clubhouse. This is funny this brings up. We need to know what we call an acquaintance, what we call an associate, and what we call a friend, and what we call family. Unfortunately, today, the mailman is a friend, the UPS driver is a friend, the neighbor that lives upstairs from you, who you only see like once a month, is a friend. We have kind of commercialized the word friend in such a loose term that with that we have blurred the boundaries and the lines of where we put people, that unfortunately that has emboldened a lot of people who we would think that would never step to us in a particular type of way, or talk to us in a particular type of way, or address us in a way, or even make advances to us, right? Because we have blurred that line, right? And unfortunately, that's just what tends to happen on both men and women's side. I'll call a spade a spade. I think it happens on both men and women's side, because there are women who have, operated in around certain men who have shown them interest in you just don't see them that way. But because they're their ideal kind of person, they're still kind of once in a while check up, or they'll pop up, or they'll do little things, right, to gain favor. But like I said again, you got to develop an abundance mindset. That friend stuff, man. Once, if you're bringing a friend that it's a member of the opposite sex, introduce them to your partner. Like, hey, like this is Liz. I've known Liz since the sandbox. Our parents know each other. We go to the same church. We went to school together, etc. Right? You're ushering them as part of our friend, right? Because I can vouch that this person I've known for years, and I love and I respect this person, that they're a friend. So you could introduce. I don't really like this, like, oh, you like this is my friend and only my friend, and I'm not going to introduce you to my friend, but I'm gonna go and have lunch, go to brunch, and go to dinner with this friend that you person has never met, has never seen, doesn't know anything about, right? It's like this almost secretive relationship that is like in operating in the gray, right? They're telling you the truth, but they're not operating under the intentions and the pretenses of how that dynamic works. And sort of, I see that a lot too. So I'm not really privy. And for the people who get married, I tend to operate and think from my upbringing and the people within my community, right? Like they're friends with other married people. Married people recruit married people, right? They're our friends. They're not my husband's friend. They're our friends, right? And with that being said, if I'm out with a woman, and whether that's my fiance, my wife, and I meet and somebody, I see out and about and they say hello to me, like, hey, how's it going? and I don't introduce you to that man, it's because I do not trust that man, or I don't fuck with that man on that kind of level. He's just an associate, somebody who happened to see me. Hey, how's it going? Hope all is well. Nice to see you. Keep it moving. If I do not introduce you to that man, that is a cosign that if you see that man out and about, don't have conversations with him. If I introduce you to that person, that's because I fuck with this person. I trust this person. I vetted this person. You know what I'm saying? He is good people. You know what I'm saying? Like, hi, this is my significant other. This is my wife, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that right there is something that isn't talked about enough, because unfortunately earlier today I heard somebody like, well, you're not going to introduce you. Not everybody needs to be introduced. Not everybody is a friend. How you?
Hey, if I can piggyback off that too, I think a big part to be aware of in situations like that is to see how your spouse and that friend interacts. You know, how is this friend super touchy? You know, are they super giggly? You know, what's the interactions? Is he more interested in me, or is all of his attention focused on my girl? You know, those little things to me will indicate always if this is a actual friend, or if this a nigga that's just sticking around waiting for me to slip or something. So I think that it's important to be aware of that on both sides, you know, because then it's evident. And if you don't see it, then I think that is neutral. I think that it's also important to be confident in yourself and also in the spouse that you chose, because at the end of the day, even if he is on that, he can't get no action unless she go. And if she go, then she, you know what I'm saying, she let you know what it is. So I think that it's important to be aware, not to be paranoid, but just to simply be aware. Feel free to ask questions, you know, ask the friend questions, you know, be avid to get to know them, because if that is a friend, and if you commonly see them, then shit, all right, I'm gonna interact with them and see what type of person he is, and then from there we can make the decision on if I feel comfortable with it or if I don't feel comfortable with it.
All right, go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah, so I've met men from all walks of life, and I do have male friends and I have female friends. I remember a situation years ago when I used to call one of my male friends to meet me out all the time. He was cool with everybody. We had mutual friends. He was cool with everybody, fun to go out with. And at the end of the night, I was on my way home, and then he kind of approached me in a way where I'm like, wait a minute, like this ain't that, you know? So it's about what Viz said, the accessibility. You have to set boundaries with certain people. Now, we are still genuinely friends, and he's never approached me in that way, but some male friends can be in that friend zone, ready to approach. Not all of them, but some can. It's happened before. It's just the reality of it. Not everybody, but it's true. Why are you laughing at, Hink?
I wanted to ask you, are y'all genuinely friends?
I'll speak on it.
Well, okay, so this had to be at least 20 years ago. I'm not a kid, so let's put that out there.
But it still extend into the present age that you're in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That those types of relationships can still harbor up to the age that you're personally at, although you feel it was a long time ago. Sometimes people still harbor feelings. You know what I'm saying? People still harbor feelings that they haven't quite worked out, that they still haven't. Look, I've known people who have harbored this feeling that they like this person, that they're friends for 15, 20 years. And like, I mean, from like 15, they're like in their 30s or whatever. And they're like, I never got the chance to tell you, but I really always liked you. You know what I'm saying? I had this feeling that I couldn't shake. And it just took them so long to summon up the courage to get that off their chest and just finally say it, whether they get embraced or whether they get rejected, whatever the case. But for them to let it fester for that much tells you how long people are sometimes willing to wait for the right opportunity.
Right, and that's what happened, and I didn't allow access. So the question had to do with, are men waiting on the side for an opportunity? Can they be friend zone, right? Or do you feel like friend zone is a thing?
Can they be your friend? Can men and women be friends? In that situation, he's not really a friend then, right? Because he already tried something with you, which means that
he already tried, but I didn't allow it.
Which is fine. Yeah,
right.
You didn't allow it, but I'm saying his perspective, his mentality, like Louise is saying, even though you didn't allow it then, and in years, he's still not a genuine friend, because none of your girlfriends would try it with you, right? Like a real friend isn't going to try to cross those boundaries with you. That's what
I think it just depends on attraction, like they talked about. Every man is not attracted to me.
Then that's not.
Chicks are trying it too. It's 2024.
Yeah, he's waiting on something.
Okay, right? Well,
and if you just like the girl on the video said, if you call him today, and come on, I thought about it. I want you to come meet me. Let's do this.
Yeah, no.
So that's not really a
friend. So it's an associate.
Yeah, he cool.
Okay,
got it. Cool for you. Okay, you like, but he's not really your friend.
And it's okay to demote people. It's okay to demote people. People were in the friend, now they're an associate, then they move down to an acquaintance. Like life, like the friends that you've had for 10 plus years that get to move into the family circle, like this is family. Like we're in through. Like when I spoke about earlier about our parents know each other, our families know each other, we've spent holidays, Christmas and stuff like that, and we're invested into each other. Those are people who will go from friends to family, right? And it's okay to demote people out of your life that don't really deserve or reside in that kind of space for you to give them the kind of time or energy that they are looking for. People have to be also to make those kind of judgment moves too.
Okay, well, I won't debate about titles, but I will put my experience out there and just say that I do feel like men can be attracted to you as a friend and they can cross the line, but it's about how you make yourself available.
I'm gonna just give my piece and then I gotta go because it's almost 10. My bedtime. I was gonna say I do agree that men and women can be friends, but you got to know what kind of man and what kind of woman you are, right? It has to be a level of self-awareness. So if you know that you're a person that would get attracted to or like, then you don't need to be having opposite sex friends. That's just my take on it. But I'll say for my situation, my husband has two close girlfriends that are, well, we call one of them sister and the other one is one of his best friends, and these are friends he had way before I even came in the picture. They don't have any kind of relationship past where they used to mess with each other and then they just became friends. None of that. And I've always been of the mindset of not being one of those people. I know you had a life way before I came in it. So just because I became your girl to be like, you got to cut off all your girl. Like, I hate when people move like that. If they've never given you a reason to trust that it was other than what they say it is, then I'm gonna trust that. But my husband did pretty much what y'all had said from jump when we like became official, things like that. They were introduced to me. You know, it was like, oh, this is my girl, blah, 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 blah. And he made sure that we built our relationship like built a relationship as well. So there are times where I talk to them that he doesn't, you know what I'm saying? So we've built a friendship as well. So and he's never crossed the line. I've never heard of them crossing the line. So it can definitely be done. You just got to know what kind of person you are. On my end, since me and my husband met when I was younger, I ain't got no male friends, basically. But I have had associates over the years, kind of like what Lewis was saying. I've met people through work and things like that, but in those relationships is not confused with a friendship. I will go and hang out like as a group, you know, when we go out. I'll invite my husband. A lot of times he don't want to come. He's like, I'm just chilling. But it's never a situation where I'm withholding the relationship from him. He's aware, he's clear on what it is. The companion or work person is clear on what it is not going to cross the line, things like that. So just putting things in place to ensure that my husband feels comfortable with whoever I'm out with and things like that, just to protect the relationship, because I would never want to be in a position where you're given a what's the word that I'm looking for? For somebody to mischaracterize what's going on, misinterpret what's going on. So I make sure I
You don't want to put yourself in a compromising situation.
Exactly that. So but it definitely can be had. But like I said, you just have to know your boundaries and your partner's boundaries and respect that relationship as is.
Yeah, your husband sounds like a mature, secure man.
Also, ladies, be aware of those men who are straight and pretend to be gay in order to be in your proximity. They will pretend to be gay just to let's go to brunch, let's go to the beach, let's go try on bikinis, right? So they can see you fully naked, man, operating on the assumption that they're a gay person. Trust me, there are people who are doing that.
Undercover gay?
Undercover gay.
Okay, noted.
Go ahead, Hank.
Yeah, this is sick. This is sad. Exactly right. Look, I just did a stream right before talking about boundaries. So with me, I don't play. My woman don't have no guy friends. We're not doing that shit here. Let that shit standard early in the relationship. So if you're gonna be with me, you're not having no male friends. But the vice versa, I can respect the same. But I ain't got no female friends. We're not rolling like that. You know why? Because I'm protecting her and she's protecting me. It's all about protection. If I love you enough, I'm gonna protect you. Your mental, your emotional, your physical. Now, you want me to go get a physical every year to make sure my ain't got no STD, though? But you need to, what about my mental protection? You not provide for me when I know you got this male friend. You can call anytime you said you can call him, anytime to go out and just hang out and have a drink. Oh, hell no, we're not rolling like that. Because like you said, that dude pushed up on you, just like every other man could possibly push up on any of y'all ladies on here. They can do that. And it's okay. Because you got some trifling dudes. They don't care. That ring around your finger is not going to stop them. That's not a shield of protection. They don't respect that no more like they used to. Back in your mama, your father's, or your grandfather's day, they used to have a little respect for that. Now they don't. Matter of fact, they look at it as an invitation. Please believe you me. I had women come after me, and I told them I had a fiance. You tell them you're married. That doesn't stop them. Matter of fact, they look at it as an invitation. Oh, well, since he got something to lose, I'm going to push up on me because he may not be happy at home. So they're going to try you. Hell no, we're not doing this. So you're not going to have no male friends. You're going to be with me. I'm not going to have no female friends if I'm going to be with you. It's not about jealousy or insecurity or anything like that. It's about the protection of the family. Like I said, what if you out with your male friend one of your husband or your boyfriend's friends see that, he don't know the details. He don't know what's going on. He don't know it's just a business meeting. He don't know it's just you just walked up on him having drinks together. He don't know that. So now guess what he do? If he's a solid friend, Tony, man, I see your girl Kelly out here. She out here with some dude. I don't know who the dude is. And so now you got to answer those questions when you get home. You might be a little tipsy. Now you're going to get on your nerve because he's going to press you now. Because you find that he don't know it's that dude. You're supposed to be your friend. It could be anybody. You could tell me it's him, but it really not. I don't know. I got to just assume he's right. But now I'm going to start feeling some type of way. Can I really trust you, Kelly? Kelly, are you all the way on the up and up, Kelly? Are you doing right by me, Kelly? Are you respecting our relationship, Kelly? Yeah, you're going to question all it. And just like if the shoe was on the other foot, if I'm as a man out with somebody else, you're going to be like, damn, Hank, who's that chick you with? Now your girlfriend, Kelly, they calling you. Oh, I seen Hank out here with such and such. They don't know that. That could be my goddamn sister. And I ain't got a sister. But it could be. Or my cousin or auntie. But they just going to assume the worst. And they're going to get you all revved up and going. Now, you may be ready to make a drive-through to the local pub or the local water hole or the local restaurant because you thought this situation. Now, you embarrassing yourself, acting a fool because you thought your man was out here doing something that he wasn't doing. No, I'm going to protect my woman because that won't be the case. Now, if I am out with another woman, I'm doing my woman bad because I ain't got no female friends. And just like that with my wife. And she's out here with another man, she doing me bad. So it won't be no jump to conclusion. She dead wrong and I got to leave her because she don't respect the sanctity of my marriage. So no, we ain't no female friends.
No, I get what you're saying, and you're allowed to operate the way you desire. I get that. But just like before you met your wife, I'm sure you knew people and I'm sure she knew people, right? So if they were considered friends prior to you knowing her, is she supposed to just cut them off out of her life completely?
Yes.
These are genuine friends that she grew up with, went to high school with, went to elementary school with, friends of
I don't care.
Cousins. So she's not supposed to know anybody at all.
They the past. I'm the present. I'm the here and now. Shout out to Luther Vandross.
I'm not talking about friends. I'm not talking about friends that she dealt with in an intimate way. I'm just talking about friends because if I'm in a relationship, there's no man that I can't introduce to my significant other. There's no man that I would consider a friend that I cannot introduce to my significant other.
There's not another heartache in your life besides your father and your brother that needs to be involved in your life, you with me. Okay. There is no other man. I don't care if you knew him since you was in grade school or pre-K or daycare. He's no longer. I'm that man. I'm your male friend. He's not going to provide no male attention that you need from him that I can't provide. And that's dangerous if you're going to go and sit there and, I'm on the couch. Who are you talking to, Tony? You all huddled on the couch laughing and giggling in your blanket, your cozy blanket. Y'all watching a movie together. He watching at his crib. You watching at your crib. You drinking wine. He drinking wine. For what the fuck are we doing here?
Oh, no, I don't think
you might just go over and lay up with Tony. You doing everything but doing that.
I don't think male friends are taking priority over my significant relationship. I'm not going to be laying on the couch talking to Tony.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Talk to your girlfriend.
I don't know what type of relationships you all have had, but okay.
Talk to your girlfriends. Look,
hey, but that's
express to us that a guy tried to push up on you, and you had to remind him it's not that type of party. He's that dude that's gonna be on the couch with that glass of wine. You watching Netflix while y'all watching what's that, Bridgetown, or is that what that show on Netflix is? I don't even know.
Bridgerton that I brought up was 20 years ago.
Whatever
I had that problem.
But Kelly, just as a
I think it's just easier when it crosses different cultures too. Like it's just totally different worlds.
Yeah.
It really, really is. Like you can't. Yeah.
Hey, but again, no, I think that it depends on that interaction, like the interaction between the two. If y'all friends, if y'all are friends to the extent of where y'all hanging out at the crib on the couch drinking wine and shit, then yeah, no, I don't feel comfortable with that, because that is a little too lax for me personally. Now, if he brings his girlfriend and comes over and I'm there and we're all over having a glass of wine, that's something different. But if I pull up to the crib, walk in, and Day sitting on the couch, you know what I'm saying, with some yak or something, it's like, bro, what the fuck you
Drinking
doing
your
here?
yak,
I told you there with yak, and he brought you some too.
snacking on your snacks.
So you don't think them boundaries are going to get pushed or get tested? You don't think a woman's going to test them boundaries? Tony over there, you not even there. You 3 hours from getting off work, but he's already there, chilling, cheese and wine.
All right. So, I mean, I kind of think that's the extreme as far as Tony going over there. But well, I mean, not well.
Yeah, you know, JR. Yeah, you know,
my man tried to push up on him. He tried
20 years ago. 20 years ago. I have not had that experience anymore since then.
Are you still friends with 20?
I know how to handle myself. Okay. Period.
Well,
so like I said, I would. There's no friend that I wouldn't be able to introduce to my significant other. No man that I consider a friend that I would not be able to introduce to my significant other. Period. Point blank. We can move on.
Would you introduce him? And if you did, would you tell your significant other that 20 years ago he tried to push up on you, but y'all still friends?
Well, we're not necessarily friends anymore. Like, that's somebody from the past.
Okay, so y'all are not friends today.
Yeah, like once I realized that there was more than the friendship, it was a wrap.
Okay.
Because I realized, like, oh, this is something else, and I don't feel comfortable with this.
Oh,
maybe I should have put that out there.
Yeah, I think that's what the confusion.
But who's to say the next man won't do that? Could be an ongoing thing. You think it's a one-off? You think it's a one-time thing?
Well,
let me tell you, ma'am.
Anything could happen. But like I said, it's about accessibility. I'm not accessible to every man. Some women are. I'm not.
If you got a male friend, you are. If you got a male friend, you are accessible to them.
Not accessible in that capacity, not accessible in the capacity where they can create some sort of deeper friendship with me. No relationship. I am not sexually attracted to them, and they are not sexually attracted to me, but there may be some that are.
But
I just don't have a narrow mind. Like, my mind is open, so I just can't push every person that I've known previously aside.
Well,
I mean, you meet people in this world.
But ma'am, you're just thinking about the sex part. There's other parts of it that it shouldn't be going on in. He shouldn't be talking to you, pouring his heart out to you about relationships and everything. As a man talking to.
Did I say anything about a man pouring his heart out to me? Because I didn't.
No, but ma'am, I didn't say you did, but I'm just using it as an example. If a man is calling you, I'm going through a tough time. My girl is acting up. You know, he's talking to you about his girlfriend. But let me explain something to you. I'm gonna give you some behind the curtain scene. We say shit like that to get you on that sympathy side so we can pull you in and knock you down so you can feel bad for us because we're going through a rough period. Men say shit like that. I said shit like that. Other dog ass dudes say shit like that. We do shit like that, say shit like that, just so we can get some ass from you. Because we want that sympathy and we know we can play off your emotions and it's going to work, especially after we get a couple glasses of wine up in your system.
Yeah, but every woman's not falling for the okie doke. Every woman's not falling for the okie doke. So,
and I don't think
you gotta know who you're dealing with.
I don't think every man for advice is looking for an opportunity to get in her draws either. I think some men actually come to women for advice on their women because they want to see how to deal with the relationship, how they can, do better to understand a woman's perspective outside of their own woman's. Because sometimes it's easier to take advice from other people than the direct person that you're dealing with. I don't think
I could be way off. I
So-
could be way off.
So, Viz, let me ask you guys a question. JR, Viz, Hank, if you had to get advice from another woman, probably just bend their ear for a second, maybe perhaps on something woman related. Are you going to talk to your mother, your sister, your female cousin, or are you going to a female friend to have that dialogue or discussion, or someone who is a member of the opposite sex that you're in community or proximity to? Like, who are in your tribe are you talking to?
Me personally, I would potentially talk to a close female friend.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know with my fiance, that may be an issue, maybe not, but I've been transparent since day one with the female friends that I do have in my life, where I've introduced them, had them come out, hang out with us. We went hang out with them to where it's clear and evident that this is just my close friend. I've always been big on loyalty, on family, friendships. If I tell you I love you, that's for life type deal. So I tend to appreciate those type of relationships. So I made sure right through the gate. In Chicago, I know a shitload of people, and a lot of people know me. So I let it be known through the gate. Just like I think Louise said, how, hey, some people I'm gonna introduce you to, some people I'm not. Some people I don't even remember their fucking name. You know what I'm saying? So if you do see them out in the street, just know that this one is good. I don't, this one sketchy, whatever, type of deal. But I think a lot of things just can be prevented with transparency. Uh, and then real quick, I will say to Kelly's part.
Come on, you gotta land that plane,
Vic. No, I do agree with Hink, but I think that Kelly, what Hink is really saying, and I get it, you can defend yourself, but as your man has the intention of not even putting you in that position in the first place. So I think that's more so the approach, because I do agree with Hink on that. But
on no male friends,
if this male friend isn't like a family friend, like your mama, what I'm saying, know them on a first name basis, then yeah, I'm kind of
like the friend you can call for advice, the female friend. If she's not like that, then
I mean, those female friends are not my family. Them female friends met my mother, my family, brothers, sisters.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so where's the problem?
So if the male person, a friend that she's referring to, if he's met all the family members and everybody, is he a go? Your opinion, Viz?
If he knows all of the family members and he's passed the test, then yeah. I mean, I don't. Again, if she's going to go, she's going to go regardless. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that I can do about that. Even if I do say no, you can't be friends with him. If she's attracted to him and she's just keeping him around just in case or whatever, she's going to do that regardless. So at that point, you just got to make the decision that either you're going to deal with it or you're going to walk away from it.
Okay, well, what Hank said was that his woman is not allowed to have male friends, period. That's what he said. You said that it's okay. If you had a problem, you would reach out to one of your close female friends, right? So I'm asking, if I had a friend, would he be okay? Could I be able to reach out to him like you reached out to that woman that you can confide in, that's not your wife? So that would mean that you don't agree with him, because then that would mean that she has friends and you have friends too.
So and that's you're right. You do got a point.
Okay.
But that is why me personally, I tend to go after women that don't have male friends like that. So I don't even
Do
be
you
in that.
think that's an insecurity thing? Because you
No.
have
Welcome back
female
to the
friends.
dark side. Viz. No, Kelly. Welcome back to the dark side, Viz.
I'm not going on the dark side. You're out of here.
So let me ask you guys a quick question. Let me ask you guys a quick question. So when, like, obviously for Hank and Viz and for those who are married, are in the covenant, you know, when you're having dispute with your partner, right? And you're not agreeing on something, or you had a heated moment and you both kind of need your space, right? Who are the people that you go and talk to, you know what I'm saying, about it, who could be a sounding board, right? What I tend to hear at times when the women go and talk to their female friends about the situation, those female friends naturally have their back. And then when the man goes talk to his male friends about that same situation, those men have their woman's back, right? Because the women are champion behind that woman in that relationship, and the men are also championing behind um that man in the relationship, right? So nobody has the best interest of both parties, right? It's like, okay, it feels like one-sided. But when you have a core of female friends, right, who understand your relationship dynamic and understand you as a friend genuinely, they'll hear you out, but they'll also have the they'll also have the man's back and see it from his perspective, and the man will also hear you out and have the woman's back from her perspective, right? Because they're also married and they're also in a relationship, so they see things from the other person's vantage point. So like that, you have two sides who are aiding and sort of supporting the opposite sex, but also supporting that relationship, therefore that marriage. When you have two groups or two sides that only support one or the other person's voice feels like they're being stifled and they're not being heard or they're not present. And what tends to happen, and I hear this at times too, and I've had conversations with this with other men, those other men then go seek that other friend who is of the opposite sex and tell her everything what's happened. That, like, man, I don't feel like I'm being heard. I don't feel like I'm appreciated. This happens, etc., etc. What do you think happens over time? This is why work husbands exist. You know, it's that consistency of that person, of always seeing them, being in the same space. There's a level of familiarity. There's a level of comfort. You confide in that person. Little by little, romantically, those people tend to kind of be more attractive over time, right? I forget the name of it, but there's a name for it. Fuck, I can't come up to it. But anyway, and you wonder why those people end up in the situations that they ended up. It wasn't intentional. It's just that how things got funneled and how that relationship was handled, especially during those volatile moments.
I think it's
that's go ahead, Ty. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, in my perspective, I think it's important in those type of situations when you're going through an issue in a relationship to go to friends who are in relationship. I think that's the most important thing, first and foremost, or someone who you know already is going to not just be biased to your perspective. So I have a friend who's been in a relationship with her boyfriend that I put together in high school, and they are now engaged for over 13 years. So when I have issues in a relationship and I come to her, I know she's going to give me, not only is she going to say, okay, I understand where you came from, but this is where you messed up. This is what you could have done better. I know that she's that type of friend. Now, I also know I have my friend who's going to be like, oh, no, we're going to be petty together. Everything he did is wrong. You did everything right. So I feel like as men and women, we both know what type of friends you need to go to when you really want that advice. And usually it's the friends that's already in relationships, or like in Hink in this situation, maybe the friends that are already engaged, that are already married, that can help you out with those situations. You shouldn't be going to your single friends to ask for relationship advice. they're going to be shooting off the wall. Even when I talk to my friends, I always have to let them know I'm not in a relationship. So everything that I'm saying right now could be wrong. But this is just my perspective. You understand what I'm saying? So I just think it's better if you deal with your friends, and when it has something to do with a relationship, you talk to friends who are in relationships and working on staying in relationships. That's just
I think it's valuable to just have people, right? We don't have to categorize them as friends or associates or whatever, but I think we all need each other. And I don't think, it's a male or female thing, because I have friends that are married and friends that are single. And I think it creates a balance when I'm able to go to all of them and get different perspectives on things, because I can't always figure things out on my own, because my perspective may only be one way. So I think it's healthy to understand somebody else's, understanding of a situation. I don't think it's bad to have a male friend or female friend or associate, or however you want to categorize it. I think it's healthy. And
But when do you use that, Kelly? When do you step into that space to reach out to that? Like under what circumstance would you approach them on that?
so let's say I have a misunderstanding with someone. I may not understand where they're coming from. I may ask them where they're coming from, but they may not be able to articulate their feelings. So I might go to my brother and say, who's married, and tell him the situation, and he might give me a different perspective on it. I could go to one of my female cousins and get a different perspective from her understanding. So, or just a friend. I just think that helps with understanding another person that you can't quite figure out. Or maybe I haven't been in that situation before, so I'm trying to figure those things out. I'm trying to process that. So I think it helps to have people, period.
So you may think my answers are going to be barbaric, which it could be for some people. But I don't believe in having conversation with everybody. Not everybody needs to know our business. See, that's a problem with our community now. We allow everybody into our relationship, and not everybody is the best for us. I don't know everybody's agenda. So if you go to your friend's biased towards you. They're not going to be biased towards me. They're biased towards you because you're their friend. Male or female, it doesn't matter. They're biased towards you. They have a relationship with you. They love and care for you. They understand you because they know you. They don't know me, but you're going to be willing to tell them everything that I've done wrong, or my faults, or what you wouldn't see eye to eye with me. And now they're going to look at me when I come to the Thanksgiving table, that Thanksgiving, look at him, he ain't shit. I remember when he did this to Kelly. I remember when he did that shit to Kelly. Well, I don't know why Kelly got back with his sorry ass. I wouldn't put up with him. Hell no. It's a circle of two. Me and my wife. Everybody's not getting involved in our relationship. Nobody, I'm not going to sit there and take, Ty, guess what my wife did? No, it's not what we doing here. If I got a problem, we're going to go to therapy. First, we're going to sit with each other on that goddamn couch, and we're going to have a conversation. And we're going to figure this shit out. Somehow, some way, we're going to pray about it, and we're going to come together, and we're going to figure it out. If we can't figure it out together, me and her, then we're going to get a third party. We're going to get a therapist. Somebody I know is not biased towards her or me, going to be in our neutral. At least we both have a fair shot. I can't go to your mother and sit there and say, Mama, guess what my woman did? Guess what she did? You can't do that. Even if Kelly, you decide to go and talk to my mother, she's still going to have a bias towards her son. Or you talk to my daddy, he still have a bias toward her son. Because it's my son, it's my blood. There's not going to be an unbiased situation. It never has, it never will be. How can we sit there and say, oh, they're not going to be biased? Bullshit. They knew you way before they knew me. I married into the family. You was born in it.
That's bullshit. Yeah. I agree with everybody not being in your business, but if you seek a therapist, that's still a person. So that still validates my point of needing people.
Ma'am, I'm talking about having people who's not what you consider your friends.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I do
talking
want to.
about, man.
I do want to get Allie in that too because she's been pretty mute.
Oh, we
here.
forgot about that. It's that
Yeah.
ugly Baltimore jersey. Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
well,
it
I got Lamar on. Come on now. But no, for me, I feel like I'm a bit short-sighted because I come from a different culture. I'm be very Hinky said it sounds barbaric, but the way I move different. I've never ever been the type of lady to call girls or mom or anybody to talk about my relationship. I mean, my longest relationship was 10 years, and I didn't talk to anybody about anything that happened in my household. Now, am I learning that there's a little bit of that can be okay, but probably to Hink's point, it probably should have been to a therapist. Like I don't know. I just don't like I didn't grow up like with a mother that I can call because there's a language barrier. So it's just never been in me to call. I figure it out, and I'm gonna figure it out with my partner. So any male friendships that I do have, literally none of it is like gonna be talking about relationships. Like they're super kosher. Talking about a TV show, talking about I don't know, something in pop culture or whatever, but that's the way I move. I don't bring in any third party in relationships. I don't call girl. I don't like that because it is kind of true. The girls that are single will want to keep you single. And I don't like unbiased. I don't like biased opinions. And I just don't like people in my relationship. That's just how I am when I'm it's just, I don't mean, it's kind of weird. Maybe I'm a extra private person, but I don't like it. It's like, it's just a weird dynamic. If I'm having a tizzle with my partner, I'm not going to call anybody and tell them about anything. I don't care what it is. Yeah. So that's why I say I feel like I'm short-sighted because I don't feel like I have that experience to know what that's like because that's just how I move. So
You're not short-sighted, man. You're just on the dark side, and that's okay. Welcome.
It's just, yeah. I just don't do that. So
welcome to the dark side.
Go ahead, Luis.
I think Ali did a really good job of really pointing out in the beginning of that there are cultural taboos that come into how you navigate in your relationship.
Yeah.
Obviously, coming from the Caribbean, we tend to kind of operate a little bit different, from most people culturally based here in the States. And I think that also comes into a play because the way how you navigate and handle relationship, you don't want your partner to navigate it where they feel they have to tell everybody your business. Your grandma, your auntie, your mother, your sister, everybody. And they're like, why we got to invite all these people into,
because I want my man to protect my brand within the family. I want to be treated, and I don't want my name to some. No.
And that right there is something that is always missed because you have to understand when you're a couple, you're an item, you are a brand. You know what I'm saying? You are building something with someone, right? That you're revered around in a particular type of way. People see you differently, especially how you carry yourself. We all know someone who talks about their child and their fiance or their child and their wife or their wife or whatever, right? There's a certain level of reverence and you got to protect that veil. And I think when you invite outsiders who don't necessarily have that same level of interest or see your relationship in that sort of dynamic, they will never feel opted to protect it or give it the type of energy that it needs in order to protect that. So that's why I do believe that, there are cultural nuances and not everybody's, well hip to that.
Yeah.
I thought Kelly left, man, because she had enough.
Nah, she on.
That dark side is
And
powerful.
And
that
the
dark
hardest part of
powerful.
There are people in that will try to pry too, and those are the people you got to stay away from. People that will try to be slick and ask you questions about, how's this going, da, 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 blah, blah, and the answer is always mute because it's like, it's my brain, it's none of your business, So it's just like from the only I guess, experience about people being in my business is post breakup, where they're like, "Oh my God, I had no idea that that's what you went through," or whatever, or that happened, because dude starts talking after the fact. Well, that bond is gone now, right? So he can speak freely or whatever. But it's like, I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm very all gas, no brakes. Like, no back in and out. Like, no. We're either in together or we're not together. And if we're not together, whatever, keep it moving. So, yeah.
Well, let me help some people out, man. Because look, if it's a situation where you are being physically abused or emotionally abused or any type of abuse, then for all means, you need to talk to your family. You need to talk to friends so you can have an exit plan. That makes sense. But if it's just we can't get along because, man, we are just sick of looking at each other. We see each other all the time and something like that, and it's bullshit. That could be worked out with just a simple conversation. Yes, we need to keep it within frame of us. It should. Everybody shouldn't be getting into your stew. They shouldn't be in your kitchen pouring their seasoning in your kitchen, man. That's not cool. Again, you don't know everybody's agenda. You don't know what people's really out to. You got some trifling ass chicks out here. These heifers are crazy. They'll sit there and watch you talk about your man, but in the back of the mind, they realize how good of a man he really is, and they will come up behind you, break things up, so he can get one, so she can get with him. And all of a sudden, you 2 years down the road, what y'all doing together? What's going on here? You know why? Because you was bragging and talking about how it was when things was good. It was good. But then when it turned bad, you telling her all the business too. And now she wants the benefits of all that good shit she talking about. I'm not like her. I'm not as toxic. So I'm not going to bring that drama. And he ain't going to be doing that with me. You got some people who moving like that. You got people who just love the gossip.
I would never
They
do
looking for
that.
bad news just to hear, just to get to talk about the shit. People are like that out here. So you got to protect yourself and protect your woman.
I've literally lost good handfuls of girlfriends where my man came to me and showed me messages like, this is what they're on. And then I go ghost, like, no. And I'm like, wow, there's really, it's bad out here. There's a ton of women that will do that.
Ty, you ain't like that, are you?
Ty will kneecap a bitch.
I mean, I completely understand your perspective, Hink and Allie. It makes sense, right? I completely understand it from what Hink is saying, because when you share information, your people don't let it go. You might share something in anger, you'll let it go. Your people don't let it go, and now they still bringing stuff up, and you like, I'm over it now. So I get it, and not bringing a lot of people in your circle, but I will say I do also see the benefit sometimes, especially as women, right? I'm only going to speak from our perspective because I don't know how men feel in relationships all the time. But sometimes we can talk ourselves into a problem that doesn't exist, right? Sometimes we get in our heads and it's like we start acting crazy out of nowhere. So to have that one dependable friend who, like I said in the beginning, is in a relationship, who deals with these things and who knows you. And Hink, you were saying they have a bias because they know you. But because they know you, they know when you're being crazy too. Like I have one friend who will say, Taya, it's you. It's you, baby. That man ain't did nothing to you. You're the one acting crazy. You have to calm down. And they make you reevaluate and approach the situation a little differently. So I completely understand what you guys are saying. I don't think everybody should know your business, but I do think it is beneficial to have that one person that you can lean on when you really need to know what's real, when you really need that confidant or just an outside opinion outside of your relationship. But as Hink stated, maybe it's best for it to be a counselor if that's what both parties are comfortable with. Because I also don't want to make my partner uncomfortable.
I just want to throw in there, I know when I've tried to call my mom, like probably when I was 19, you'd be like, oh, I met this guy to talk about, blah, blah, blah. All she'll be like, you know what? She'll be like, she'll say it in Korean. She'll be like, I'm my man. She'll be like, I love my daughter. I trust you're going to make the right decisions. That's it.
Oh.
You know what I mean? She's like, you got it. You know, that's kind of the extent of it. And because my parents have always been firm, we're your parents. We're not your friends.
Okay.
So we're going to keep it that way. So it's like, all right, cool. I guess I'm still out here figuring it out.
Has anyone on this panel had relationship counseling in any relationships, previous relationships?
Yeah, I've had a few sessions.
Yeah, I've had a couple sessions as well.
We went to premarital counseling, and we still in it now. So I mean, just to secure and make sure everything's on up and up, I think it's good. I think it's good for couples if they're about to make that plunge and make that decision. I definitely would recommend it for anybody.
Yeah.
Don't some churches do that too? I think the Catholic Church does that. Like, I don't know if it's called premarital counseling, but it's something.
Yeah.
Something
Usually, if you're getting married by a pastor or a preacher or whatever, it'll be mandatory for you to do premarital counseling with them.
So the counseling that you had, is that with your fiance right now or a previous relationship?
It's with my fiance.
What have you learned so far? Well, not all points, but like.
Well, yeah. No,
it's okay if you want to keep it private too,
right?
We're the third parties.
Just generalize.
Of course. No, I wasn't gonna get super personal or nothing like that. I would say that it was, and I was thinking of how to word it, but to put it bluntly, I would say that it was almost things that I already knew, that I was already aware of. So it was really more so kind of talking about it. Well, it was more so talking about it with another person there that's kind of mediating the conversation essentially. But I would say for the most part, me personally, just because with the things that I've studied psychology on my own, human behavior, things of that nature. So I pay attention to the smaller things, to what, the subcontext, the shit that's not being said. Like I pay attention to those things. So with it coming out in counseling, it was more, I guess, a confirmation. But overall, I think it was really just things that I somewhat knew already. But it did help build us come closer together to do the homework and shit like that afterwards once we left.
Okay. Anybody else
Hey.
who had that type of experience? Like, is there something that you could contribute to maybe other people who are in a relationship or heading towards marriage? Is it
well, if you're going through something, then I think that it's going to highlight the truth. And some people don't want to hear the truth. So if you are looking to be, if you just think it's just going to be a walk in the park or it's going to be pleasure, then you got another thing coming, because it is going to highlight different things that you may know of or you may not want to hear. So you're going to get uncomfortable, and you got to be ready to hear the uncomfortable truth.
Yeah, I know another thing is you got to be willing to sometimes wear the black hat, because the counselor's not always going to agree with you or be on your side. And so how do you handle that when they are telling you your shit stinks?
Mm-hmm.
That's very important when you're going through counseling. When they hold that mirror up to your face and you like, damn, they got me. And nothing you can say. You got to accept that. Now, what are you going to do? What adjustments are you be willing to make? What changes are you going to do? And how fast are you going to do it? Are you going to try to drag it out as long as you can, keep holding on to that same behavior? Or are you going to try to make it an instant change? Because if you don't, it could definitely hinder the relationship. Like I know with my lady, one of the things that she had to learn was that I have no problem with tabling the conversation. Because I'm not going to sit there and argue and fight with you. If that's you're going to get to that point where your voice raises, your voice get high and you get upset, okay, this ain't the time. I got plenty of rooms in this house, 4 bedrooms. You go to any room, cool off. We can table it, come back and talk about it later when cooler heads prevail. Let's keep it all the way adult and professional. So I had to learn her that because she didn't always understand it because she wanted to get it done, get it over with, and get it resolved. Sometimes it can't be solved within that moment or that time frame. Sometimes you might have to wait, some time period to let cooler heads prevail. And she didn't. It was hard for her to accept that, but she had to learn that. And how she learned it? Through premarital counseling, because he was able to communicate a way where she could understand. So.
So having some sort of counselor helps communication between both people that you all aren't able to articulate at home with one another.
Well, I think it helps you. It helps you communicate, but it helps you to other sources on how to say it in a different way. Maybe a way that's more sensitive, more understanding, more accepting. Because I could be kind of abrasive at times. I could be kind of harsh.
What?
Yeah, that's what makes me so great. So
it's the beard.
It maybe it's something, I don't know. But when that happens, right on. Sure, man, king on top, right on. When that happens, she got to learn how to handle it or deal with it, and I got to learn how to make certain adjustments. Okay, maybe it's my choice of words. They get on me all the time for tone and delivery. That's a go-to move for me. I mean, I'm still under construction. I'm a work in progress. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm not gonna have tone and delivery for you guys. So don't get mad at me. My wife, I will adjust.
You don't want to practice on us?
No, ma'am.
No. I'll just
practice. Well, I mean, I can appreciate you being authentically who you are. Like, that's great. I'm not offended.
Right on.
Yeah, he's the big teddy bear.
It's what it is.
Yeah, I did have this one more clip I wanted to slide in, but go ahead, Luis.
No, I'm good. We could keep it rolling.
Okay.
Hey, there is this one show on Showtime, and it's on Paramount right now. It's called Couples Therapy. This is a gym. It's called Couples Therapy. If you're in a relationship, just watch it with your spouse. And so that I think that it's important to see how other people handle their conflict, how it is that they overcame it, and then that be a piece of conversation for the two of y'all to have, because now you're able to have those difficult conversations inadvertently. It just happens more natural, and you can essentially be able to say, oh well, actually, man, you really not that bad, because these motherfuckers over here on TV, they going through hell. So maybe what we got, it really ain't that bad, and we can get through it. So I think that Couples Therapy, the TV show, the series, I think that is a very valuable series for people to check out and see.
I don't think it's still on anymore, is it? It's
well, so it's only a seasonal thing. They'll drop the full season. Right now they just recently dropped season 4 maybe about a month ago, but it's on Paramount Plus right now.
Yeah, I used to watch it, so he's correct.
All right, Miss Grady super chats real quickly. Hey, I read this one already. AP $20 says every time that I called her, it seemed something was brewing. I called her on my dime, picked up, and then I called again. I said, yo, who was that? Oh, he's just a friend. Don't give me that. Don't give me that.
That's fine.
AP again, $5 says, Kelly, we are hunters. Be careful, sis. We're patient. Luis is 100% correct. He's waiting on you to stumble. Watch your 6, ma'am.
Okay, got it. Moving forward into any new relationship, all friends are out. Okay?
What? Okay. Marriage, Politics, and Sports, $10 says, women need to stop telling men what we think. There's a simple test of that theory. Depending on where the man's experience level is, he can resist the siren song, but the percentage is low. Shout out to Dale Matthews for gifting 5 Lapeef memberships. Shout out to you, sir. We appreciate that. AP again, $10 says, Baltimore Ravens, let's go. and put that ball across the line. So fly on.
Tired of Mahomes. Sit down, Mahomes.
Go in and strike with Ravens pride. Fight, fight, fight. I see you, Alex. And Marriage, Politics, and Sport $5 says all advice is not good advice. All advice is good advice.
That's
Like everybody that has contributed to the platform, hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. What you say, Gal?
Oh, I said that's one way to look at it.
Yeah. One of those things, man. Which side of the spectrum you want to be? You can minimize the risk, or you can increase the risk. So, ask yourself: is it worth it? And what's worth more? And then maybe that may help you be able to decide what you should do moving forward. When you get old and you're laying by that bedside, it's going to probably be one person. And that's still a maybe, still a possibility. Oh, there wasn't no gym? Were y'all just letting it marinate a little bit?
Yeah, we just got to let it land. You got to let it land.
I actually wrote that one out, man. So I thought that was going to hit home.
I mean, that just deserved its own moment of silence.
No, man, y'all ain't got to. Come on now.
Hey, look. Yeah, look, yeah, you know the night's going good. Look, Kelly came to the dark side. You dropping gems like that. Hey, man, it's all good, brother. It's all good.
I definitely did not come to the dark side.
She might have just told you what you wanted to hear, Hank.
Nope. I'm still on the light side over here.
But I guess the men on the panel at least can say that if they ever in those situations, that they're probably praying. Would you guys say that? Like, if you guys are friends with women, 9 times out of 10, you're just lurking around. Are y'all there?
Hi.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. Me personally, I just can't agree with that per se. Again, I got a lot of female friends that I'm not even on that time with. You know, and most of my friends are married, so you know, I make sure that it's respectable, because I expect the same. So women that I do know is under that act, and they'll be willing to go if I was to pull it. I keep my distance from them. But those ones that's aware of it, then hey, let's do this to the end.
Biz, you said you have a lot of female friends. Are all of those female friends, they all know your family? Because I know in the beginning you stated, like, if they know your family, you know, you like grew up with them, then that's what like really qualifies them as a friend. Like, all of these women are people that you like grew up with. They know your mom, pops, they know your family, all of that.
Yeah.
Ass cooked.
Yeah, for sure. Now going back to the statement of if I would go and ask them for relationship advice or something like that, I wouldn't necessarily do that. I think there's a way to kind of vaguely touch on what may be happening. But I don't think that going and saying like, man, she just won't cook, she just won't wash the dishes or something, I don't know what to do, like going to complain about your spouse to somebody else, I think that's a no-go. But going and expressing your concern or a thought, or what do you think I should do in this situation, or, you know, one of them type of deals, then yeah, there's a small few that I would feel comfortable with doing that with. But yeah, I know a lot of people.
Knowing a lot of people and all of them being your friends is two different things. So I just wanted to, you know, clarify, are they your friends, or like Louise said, are these like acquaintances?
No, if I say you're my friend, you're my friend.
Your friends.
Yeah.
Look at Tyler.
Let me get them up off of you. We could get them up off your back. They on you right now. They on your neck.
Hey, I got this.
What's your next one? Yeah, what's your next time? We're gonna get him up off his neck, man. They on right now.
Let me explain something to you women who meet these men who say that they are going through a divorce, but they still live in the house with their baby mothers or their wives or soon to be ex-wives. If they are not in separate homes, they are not separated. Let me repeat this for you. If the man that you are interested in, if he tells you that he's going through a divorce, he's going through a separation, or he lives with his baby mom and the reason why they haven't left the home is maybe because of the economical system or whatever else excuse that he gives you, if they do not live in separate homes, they are not separated, and there is a chance that they are going to get back together, or there is a chance that he is lying to you and everybody in the world knows that they're together but you. If they are not in separate homes, if they're still sharing cars, if they're still sharing dinner at the same dinner table, they are going through something. That relationship is not over yet. Save yourself a lot of headache and a lot of heartache listening to a man tell you, just give me a few weeks, I'm working on it, give me a few months, because months will become years, and then all you'll ever be is the second potential wife when she finally had enough. Am I lying?
No.
He ain't lying.
But it goes both ways.
Hey, it's like those movies. It's not to sound cliche, but it's like those movies where that woman is waiting in the cut. I thought you were gonna leave your wife. I thought you were gonna leave your wife. What happened? They just waiting for you to divorce the wife, leave the wife or the girlfriend or whatever. But it's like, I find it interesting because it's that same woman who is waiting for a man who's already betrothed to someone else, married in a relationship, right? You know this, whether they're going through a rough patch, whether they're about to break up and they're on the rocks, you know that at the end of the day, whether he leaves or he stays, his mind, his heart, and his dick is still attached to that woman some way symbolically. So even if you do get him and you are with him, his mind and spirit is somewhere else. Let's be very honest. We just don't leave or break up with people and then it's like this detachment, like with two foreign objects going in the opposite direction. No, there is a lot of chemistry. There is a lot of emotional built up. There's a lot of investment. We just don't separate from each other. We might not be together. We might not be in the same space sharing anymore. But however, there is like, damn, man, what if I would have did this different, or what if I did that different? I should have probably listened to her that time, or I should have listened to my friend when he gave me this advice. There's always that resentment of looking back into the past of woulda, coulda, shoulda, but didn't, right? And a lot of people go through that cycle before they finally get out of it and move on. You know, if that man is already checked out of his marriage or relationship, he would have abandoned everything all the way, abandoned ship. Typically, the captain stays with the ship until the ship goes down. He would have been the first person off with the life raft, with the life preserver, and the extra boat on the side. But that's not the case. And unfortunately, a lot of women wait in the cut expecting that man to leave his woman. Meanwhile, there is a bunch of other men circling around that same woman who's been waiting, who have shown interest, who have shot their shot, who have presented themselves, right? And that woman has not even thought to open her eyes or her purview 6 degrees to the side to see that there are other suitable men who are not in relationships, who are not taken, and who are not in a compromising situation. Because remember one thing, love, you lose them the same way you got them. So choose wisely. I yield.
Yeah, I think if you are still in the same household, there's room for anything to happen. And a lot of men use that excuse, well, I don't want to pay for two separate households. Well, you don't want to end the relationship either because you're still there. So either you move on and then it's final, or you're still there and it's room for the relationship to be repaired.
I completely agree, Kelly. I don't think if a man is still living with his significant other, just like I feel like if a woman is still living with their or the former significant other, according to what they're telling you, it's a lie. Why are you still there? It makes absolutely no sense. If you guys are no longer together, then you should be separate. Or you shouldn't be dating other people, at least dating me, until you figure out what you're going to do. Because some people will say, they're trying to figure it out. They can't sustain without them because they've been leaning on this person for so long. Well, then you should continue to lean until you figure it out and start dating once you get out on your own.
Yeah, I really think it's important to cut ties completely before you move on.
Mm-hmm.
In any situation, whether it's a marriage, engagement, just a new relationship, and you want to move on, I really think it's important to cut ties. It's hard for people sometimes because we're so bonded, but you really have to let go if you really want to open a new chapter.
But that also, like Luis was saying, no one just lets go. So if someone is still living with them, they haven't even taken the time to heal from that previous relationship. So you literally need time in between before you even decide to get another relationship with the person before you can actually move on. If not, you're just a rebound. You're just something to get under, to get over it.
Yeah.
So it's a lose-lose for that other person, whether you're a man or a woman.
I mean, but then you do have situations where a man is going through a divorce and he's telling a woman, well, no, we're not together. We're this, we're that. And next thing you know, they're married to a whole nother person. The ink isn't even dry on the divorce papers. So, everything is situational, I guess, but it's up to, the people who are willing to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
So you have some women who they're okay with waiting. They'll wait 10 years, 20 years, whatever. And then you have some women who are like, I'm not waiting on nothing. I'm going to go find somebody else who's available.
Who's available today.
Yeah.
I
think it's about mentality.
You know what's so funny? There are women who are in relationships who leave those relationships to go be with a man who's currently married or in a relationship, but yet those same women are those same women who are against polygamy. Like, make it make sense. You already with someone who's already taken.
They already wanted that person who got taken.
then you might as well just join the team, because she's not about to let go of the reins. And that's the truth. Hank, I know you laughing, bro, but it's the truth. You know how many women I've heard, and I be chopping it up on Club. I've heard women who are married or in long-term relationships who have left their person. They built a life, etc., etc. They leave them, right, for something insignificant or small. And then next thing you know, 3 to 6 months later, they're in a relationship with someone else who they know that is married, who they know is in a relationship. But yet over here, you're against the idea of polygamy. So I'm like, yo, if you want the same man, then you might as well just have the same conversation, because the reality of the matter is that a lot of people are out here in polygamous relationships. They just don't know about it. That's just really the truth.
I think
everybody wants the same individual, but nobody's willing to have the uncomfortable conversation about the matter. But everybody has this, the Lulu mindset that, well, he's gonna leave her and all this and that, and I'm just gonna play my position. Same song, different tune.
I think when women have those type of experiences, they may have had a lack of experience before they married whoever they were with. If they can just drop whoever they're with to go be with somebody else, it's like you desire something that you haven't had, and you think the grass is greener on the other side.
It's like that 80-20 rule, right? Like in any relationship, you're only going to get 80% of what you want. And sometimes when people see that little bit of 20, it looks so enticing to them that they'll drop the 80 to chase after the 20 until they realize that was just a small little bit. That was insignificant compared to what you actually had.
Yeah, but now it's too late.
Yeah.
So I really think, I know they talk about women over a certain age with no kids, no babies, whatever, but I think that's why women don't jump into marriages sometimes. Not all, but I know some women who've been married since they were very young, right? And then sometimes they say, if I could do it all over again, I probably would never get married. But I look at them and I'm like, well, if I would have got married young, I probably would have never dated, you know what I'm saying, anybody else. So you always see it from a different perspective. So, I mean, I don't know. I like when I see couples that have been married since they were in their 20s, and that they've established a family and their kids are going away to college or whatever. Like, I think that's beautiful. Like, I don't feel like you have to experience so many things to find what you're looking for, because nobody's really perfect, Everybody comes with something.
Very true.
Okay. Ali, you have anything to say?
I mean, I agree with the clip entirely. It's just, it's I don't know, it's just messy behavior. If you're still living in the same household, that man got a live-in coochie in that crib. No matter what way you look at it,
yeah,
it's right there. Like, why would you be
24 hours, 7 days a week?
It's a live-in. And it's physically there. So and they've had it before many times. So it's like, what's to say? Yeah, I've
back in.
So anybody who's trying to break that up intentionally, they're delusional, thinking that,
I think the
that they're
financial
not still doing something.
I think the financial thing is like the leading excuse.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then I think we all need to do a better job of being more financially literate of how to come out of that. That should be number one priority. If you're getting separated or divorced, figure out how you're going to get out financially first and then make it happen.
Man, these people are not asking about did they read Poor Dad, Rich Dad, Napoleon Hill. They're not asking any of those questions. These people don't know. They don't know if they balance a checkbook or not. Unfortunately, just the way that people are just interacting with one another, those things fall to the backside. You only realize it when you're in too deep, and now you're like, damn, I gotta help this person figure out this. They don't know how to do this, and you're operating thinking that they knew these things, but you never had the conversation.
Yeah, I witnessed a colleague. She was married for 30 years and then her husband suddenly passed away. She didn't know how to function. She didn't know how to pay her bills, had to go to the bank, and it was terrible. So it's just like, ooh, they had a great marriage, and everything like that. But it's just like, it's a steady reminder that, you can separate due to ways that have nothing to do with an affair. So everybody as individuals just need to do a better job of learning how to not be so dependent. There's a level of codependency that's healthy, but that's just and to me, that would be a red flag enough to stay away from the person. Like, you this in this dysfunctional codependency situation with your finances that you already fucked up in my book. I don't want to see your books ever.
Yeah, she was a well-kept woman.
Well, y'all shared a lot of stuff, and some of the stuff is true. But one of the things, y'all, is that I don't know if y'all have ever been divorced. I went through a divorce before. So you asking a man to go ahead and move out. If he does that, it's called abandonment. So you abandon your house and you abandon your kids if you decide to make that decision. And as a man, you don't want to do that, because now you're giving the ex-wife, or soon-to-be ex-wife, the leverage to get custody of them kids when you just leave the residence. So that does play a part in the situation. And then, is it financial? Yes, it is financial, because now you spending extra money that you probably really can't afford to spend on a apartment or residence. That more like, if you could find some way to be cordial enough until the divorce procedure is done and over with, then you go on. So now you don't want to take the risk of you not getting an opportunity to have custody of your son because you left the home. Because they factor that into my state. Now, it might be a state-by-state thing. I know Shane was talking about it Sunday. That's how it is in Kentucky. If you leave the home, that is considered abandonment. So now I'm losing out of having possibly getting custody of my son because I abandoned him, just because I decided to move out because me and her just couldn't get along. It's not about me trying to have sex with her, but it's about trying to find a balance so I can still remain in the home, don't lose the home without have to just give it to her because she is considered abandoned. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, all that's going on. People shouldn't be dating other people.
That's what I was
Yeah.
going to. Would you at that time, or would you wait until, like you stated, your divorce is over so that you don't have to worry about abandoning your home and not having a financial standing?
Yeah, well, that part I do agree. I don't going through some divorce like that. I wouldn't be trying to pursue a relationship. My lawyer even said that. Don't do that. Don't give her any reason to find a way to get you out. Because guess what? They got them things called EPOs. A woman can go down there and file that, even though it's not true what she's saying. She could go out there and file, and they will immediately remove you from the home. Remove you from a home, and now guess what? That's considered abandonment. Just because you got it could be 2 or 3 days you get that's considered abandonment, and you will lose your leverage in that situation. I've seen guys go through that shit. So if any way you can find a way to be cordial and stay there and be okay, then do what you got to do. I know with me and my ex, she stayed in one room, I stayed in the other, and until it was done, and then we went from there.
I think
Go ahead.
No, go ahead and finish up.
I was going to say, was my lawyer even said, hey, man, if you're looking to get in a relationship, hold off. Don't let her know. If you are going to do it, don't let her know that you got a relationship, because that could strike some type of anger, frustration. And when the individual's mad, they'll do some crazy shit they normally probably wouldn't do. Say some shit that they normally probably wouldn't say. File reports that they normally wouldn't do. Because they're frustrated, they're hurt, they're mad, they bitter. So
I think among learning financial literacy, I think you should also learn your state's divorce laws, and as opposed when you're going, because I tell you, there's a lot of people that don't know the laws of their state in the state that they elect to get married in, and they don't know what they're signing up for. I think that should be automatic. I think that should be a prerequisite. And I think that should be talked about a little bit more in men's spaces, especially if you're going to plan on going down the aisle. It's not, and I say this for both parties, and I'll land it by saying this. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that I don't trust the devil inside of you. We all have our dark moments. We all have our turning moments. And that's just the unfortunate truth. We're messy people. We're difficult to be with, right? This is why I said, like, this is a long journey, right? And sort of like you go through ups and downs and leaps and bounds, right? And the testament is how you get out of it, how you bounce back, and how you maneuver, and how you make concessions, right? And you thinking you're gonna leave your person and find something and find somebody better. That person that you think that you're finding better is someone who has dealt with someone like you and appreciate them. And the moment that they see some signs, they're already gone out the door. The grass is not greener on the other side, ladies and gentlemen. The grass is green on the side in which you water and you nurture. And a lot of people neglect their side of the grass and wonder why it turns brown at nightfall.
All right. On that note, man, we're going to go ahead and close out. Hey, Ali, I'm going to go ahead and drop your link for you. You want to go ahead and put people on to it?
Oh, yeah. Two Sisters Co. Skincare. So you can get glowing skin, everybody.
All right. I just got to drop in the link in the back chat. And on the front, you want to give a little bit more? I mean, some people might know what you're talking
about. So Two Sisters Co. is a skincare company where we supply straight from Korea, from the source, K-beauty products. Particularly right now, I want to highlight anybody who's ever heard of microneedling, but you don't want to do the invasive procedure. We have that viral Riedel shot, where in a matter of 3 days after using our sheet mask or the serum, you will see a noticeable difference on the texture of your skin. So, and the reason why we want to highlight Korean beauty products is because South Korea actually has stricter regulations on the ingredients that you can put in skincare. So the goal is to provide that to people in the States without the language barrier, because I know that can be a struggle when you're trying to get into the K-beauty industry. So we got it at twosistersco.com.
Shout out to South Korea. I will be there
Yeah.
sometime next year.
Oh, nice. I'm so jealous. Bring back a suitcase of K-beauty. I would go nuts. I know I would.
I have to bring a separate one.
Does anybody else got anything they want to highlight before we close out? Anything? All right. I want to thank everybody for giving your time tonight. I want to thank everybody also in the chat, and as well as the people that may be watching and not in the chat because you're busy working or just carrying on with your day. Salute to you. Hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you're watching the replay, do us a favor, hit that like button as well. Catch us next Wednesday, same time. It'll be a shorter show. I'm pretty sure we'll start a little bit earlier. So my apologies.
Thursday night football.
Yeah, let's start.
We got to take that into consideration going forward.
Well, yeah, that, and also Sunday we'll probably be going live at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Central Time. That's what we do. We usually dial it back a little bit on Sundays, and it'll probably be 2 hours because the Bears game is on Sunday, right, Hank? Okay, I don't know about the Ravens, but I know about
we
the
play the
Bears.
Tennessee Titans.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that. Anyhow, till next time.